hungry and inspired today. The Ohio State Buckeyes and the Oregon Ducks colliding on this proving ground in Pasadena. The Bucks and the Ducks in the 96 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi, and a perfect day here in Southern California.
On a day that belongs to resolutions, they come seeking the same. Not for a new year or a clean start, not for a promise or a pledge, but for an answer and an ending. Resolution. This game is rooted in its meaning and shaped by its sense. In tenacity and toughness, in determination and decision, in value and worth. For two teams who have journeyed through their seasons with hard losses early, great wins late, there remains one challenge and one chance for vindication, for celebration, for resolution, for the Rose Bowl.
And welcome inside the Rose Bowl for the countdown to kickoff of the 96th edition of this great classic. There's fresh blood in this game. The Ducks have dethroned USC in the Pac-10, and the Buckeyes finally a chance to play in this Rose Bowl for the first time in more than a decade. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Jesse Palmer, Desmond Howard, who's part of 3 Michigan teams to play in this great place. Guys, terrific matchup. We'll attack it from all angles as we approach the kickoff here. You got an Ohio State team quietly resolute to redeem themselves after 3 straight BCS losses, and an Oregon team I think comes in with a real swagger. They don't think they can be stopped, Jesse, and part of that's because of the quarterback, Masoli.
Jeremiah Masoli, one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in all of college football. He can hurt you throwing the football. 10% of his runs this year have generated at least 20 yards. He is simply electric, and he's the guy Ohio State has to keep an eye on at all times defensively.
Jesse, talking about dual-threat quarterbacks, let's go to the other team, Ohio State's Terrell Pryor. This guy's had an up-and-down season, but listen, this could be a great feather in his cap if he can pull off a victory today. And talking about 10 yards or more runs, 26% of his runs have been for 10 yards or more. This guy is a threat every time he has the ball. He's going to have to play big, though, in order for them to get a victory.
Oregon's got a back lane with Michael James. He's 5'9", 180, has breakaway speed, has more runs of 20 yards than any back in the nation. Do you hear that? The guy can score from any place on the field.
He had a great season filling in for LeGarrette Blount, who punched that Boise State player in the opener, served a 10-game suspension, and then reemerged in the Civil War against Oregon State, the game that propelled the Ducks here. He had 51 yards rushing and a big touchdown when the Ducks were down at home by 9 points. Now, Chip Kelly calls him his third-string running back, but it's a heck of a 1-2 punch. The Buckeyes also have some good backs.
They found a formula for success in the last 5 games of the year. They took the football out of Terrell Pryor's hands, and they started running the football. In fact, in the last 5 games of the year, they ran for at least 228 yards in each of those contests. This guy right here, Brandon Sane, the biggest reason why, 8.1 yards per carry in his last 2 games. He's physical. He's going to try to wear this Oregon defense down.
I like Ohio State's defense, especially the ends. This guy right here, Thaddeus Gibson, about 6'3", 240. He's a very disruptive force. Rushes the passer very well, even runs down plays from behind sometimes. He's going to have to play big, too. Him and Cameron Hayward is going to have to set that end and not let Masoli get out and break contain.
They face an Oregon offense that operates at a very high tempo, has plenty of fast players, including LaMichael James, and also scores very quickly. You know, touchdown drives of 3 or 4 minutes are the norm for the Oregon Ducks, and Jim Tressel very well aware of the challenge today for his defense.
They do a great job because of their speed of getting you out of position. And then when they get you out of position, they can really make big plays.
Coach Tressel's a 3-syllable guy. I'm a 1-syllable guy. We're fast.
Here he goes! He may! He will! It's a touchdown!
If you can handle the velocity of which they play, then you're going to have a chance. If you can't, you're going to be in trouble.
Velocity is a good term. You know, we may steal it. We may use that next year. Our basis of everything we want to do offensively is how fast we play.
I don't think we faced a spread team that has so many playmakers as they do. And, you know, the QB makes it go.
Masoli, struck another tackle for the end zone, touchdown Oregon!
It's
speed of our players, out there in open space against theirs. I think those are the matchups we're looking for. It's going to be a challenge for us, and you'll hear it all over the country saying how good they are and they can't be stopped.
We really just been hitting on all cylinders with each other. You really don't think about it at all anymore. You just go.
That's a speedy, high-reward offense for Oregon. Also high risk. They've lost 15 fumbles. They have a lot of negative plays. They're the number 6 rushing team in the country, but you can see Ohio State top 5 in yards per game, points per game, and rushing yards per game allowed. Terrific matchup when the Ducks have the ball. Upstairs now to the booth, the man who called the Rose Bowl, Brent Musburger.
Chris, thank you very much. A beautiful day for this Rose Bowl, matching two very high-spirited teams here at Kirk Herbstreit just a short time ago before they went back to the locker rooms. Verbal square-off at midfield.
Well, these teams have been hearing about one another for quite some time, so you can imagine the emotions finally to be in this environment to want to take on each other, and you can see the emotions spilling over there.
Great offense against wonderful defense. The Ducks...
The Ducks are going to score some points. It's a matter of Ohio State and just trying to slow them down. And anytime you have an offense that has the ability to run and throw, it really puts the defense at a disadvantage. And Jeremiah Masoli right now comes into this game, probably has as much confidence as any quarterback in college football. He's got great understanding of the scheme. He's got an amazing speed to make you pay for it if you spend too much time on LaMichael James. He's got the power to run over and run support, and he's the X factor. He can create, and as I said, is playing with as much as confidence as you're going to want to see from a quarterback. Now, as you see, this will be the best defense that Oregon has gone up against this year. How will that affect them? Will they get to third and long situations? Will Ohio State's athletic secondary and linebacking core be able to make plays in space? Everybody wants to see that because of the Florida, the LSU game, and so on. So Ohio State's got to step up defensively.
Chris, something's got to give. The Ducks average 37 a game. The Bucks give up only 12. We shall see.
Should be great, Brent. Jim Tressel, of course, a BCS title on his resume. Chip Kelly at 46, just a few years removed from being an assistant coach at New Hampshire. This stage a little bigger. We'll hear from the Senator coming up.
You'll do almost anything to get over a cold. But when chest congestion caused by mucus is making your bad cold even worse, you want all the symptom relief of new Tylenol Cold Plus Mucus Relief to get you back to normal. The trusted relief of Tylenol Cold Plus Mucus Relief in a fast-acting liquid gel. New Tylenol Cold Plus Mucus Relief. Get back to normal, whatever your normal is.
Hi, I'm Angela. A little while ago, a thought popped into my head. I don't want to worry about my computer freezing, crashing. I decided to tell Microsoft about it. And suddenly, Windows 7. I don't know how they did it, but I have lots of stuff going on right now. And do I look worried? Great. I told them to improve something and they did. I wonder what else I should tell them. Maybe to pay my rent? I'm a PC, Windows 7, my idea.
Means a world of opportunity just waiting to be explored on your terms. Connect to your world your way with the LG New Chocolate. Life's good.
Well, the only Rose Bowl meeting between these two schools came in 1958. Buckeyes opened the game in convincing fashion, a 79-yard drive, a 1-yard run by quarterback Frank Kremlis. Jim Shanley's 5-yard run capped an 80-yard march in 10 plays. The Ducks tied it at 7, and then Don Southern, the 24-yard field goal, and the Buckeyes win it 10-7. Ohio State's road to this Rose Bowl began with a deflating loss at home to USC. Terrell Pryor made some mistakes, and true freshman Matt Barkley drove SC down the field 86 yards just over a minute to go. Another big game loss for Ohio State, but they would bounce right back. Responded by winning the next 4 games, including the first 3 Big Ten games, so they get an early lead in the standings. The defense allowing 27 points over those 2 games. Back-to-back shutouts, they rolled to a 5-1 record. Things look to be on course. But then another surprising loss, a stunner in fact. They lose in West Lafayette. Buckeyes had 5 turnovers, 2 picks, 2 fumbles by Terrell Pryor. That was a head-scratcher for Ohio State fans. But then the Buckeyes would, again, bounce back, keeping the Rose Bowl title hopes alive by winning the next 3 games, including a dominant 24-7 win over Penn State and Happy Valley. Buckeyes defense did the damage, holding Penn State to just 201 total yards. And then it all came down to the showdown with Iowa at home. Hawkeyes shorthanded. Most figure Ohio State would roll, but this one would be a tough, hard-fought game. They jumped out to a 2-touchdown lead. The Hawkeyes bounced back, and then Devin Barkley's field goal in overtime gave Ohio State the 5th straight Big Ten title and a berth back here in the Rose Bowl. The first visit here as a head coach for Jim Tressel, who leads the Salters.
Okay, thank you, guys. Jim, in order for your offense to do well, Terrell Pryor has to play well. What have you told your quarterback about what he needs to do to manage this game?
Well, you know, that's the case with everyone's offense. Their quarterback better be good. And, you know, the first thing they have to do is get us in good plays, make good decisions, you know, take good care of the football. But if you're going to be successful, your quarterback's got to make plays. And so there's that fine line between anticipation and making sure we're safe. But sometimes you just got to go let it happen.
In the big picture, what would an Ohio State win mean for the Big Ten, which has not won in this Rose Bowl in the last decade?
Well, we feel like we're representing the Big Ten for sure. And every team that's playing in any bowl feels the same way. But this is the granddaddy of them all. And, you know, we've got to do our best.
All right, thanks a lot, and good luck to you today, Coach. Guys, back to you.
I think a win would mean a lot for the Big Ten, but a loss would mean a lot, would do a lot of damage for the Big Ten reputation as well. How do you see the Buckeyes performing today?
Well, I see the defense having to step up big. In order for the Buckeyes to have a chance, that defense is going to have to play lights out. I mean, when you talk about a guy like Jeremiah Masoli, a dual-threat quarterback, they haven't seen a quarterback with his capability in the Big Ten all year long. Then LaMichael James coming, he can get on the outside and he's a terror out in space, but he runs tough in between the tackles too. And then just you got LeGarrette Blunt. This guy's just like a grown man running over guys, linebackers, safeties, and he has fresh legs because he only played 1 game this season outside the Boise State game.
He brings that physicality to this Oregon running attack all of a sudden, but I'm actually looking at Terrell Pryor as the X factor for this Ohio State offense. We mentioned they found a formula to win games in the last 5 contests of the season with good defense and running the football. Terrell Pryor only attempted 17 passes in his last 3 games. You know that defensive coordinator for Oregon, Nick Aliotti, is going to load the box, try to take Brandon Sains, Boom Herron out of this game. Terrell Pryor, coach, has to make 3 or 4 big plays in the passing game just so that there's balance and he gives them a chance.
Exactly. And Ohio State's key point is they've got to keep Oregon State's offense on the sideline. Just run the ball, smack them, hit them in the nose. Powerful football, Ohio State style, and they can win the ball game.
Only one defensive lineman on the Oregon Ducks is bigger than 270 pounds, but they will, again, load the box. Meanwhile, for the Oregon Ducks, in Chip Kelly's first season, it was an adventurous journey here to Pasadena, which began with a misadventure on the Blue Rug at Boise. How about this, your first game as a head coach? Your offense is smothered by Boise State. It's an embarrassing loss, punctuated by an even more embarrassing punch by Blunt, this Boise State player. He had to deal with the crisis. He had to bring the team together. But Kelly was able to do that, and they rebounded with 7 consecutive wins, including a pasting of USC at Austin Stadium, 613 total yards against the once mighty Trojan defense. Now, the perfect Pac-10 season would end with a loss at Stanford. They couldn't sustain this level of play or this emotion against the Cardinal. And Stanford worked over the Oregon defense for 570 total yards. It was a big day for Toby Garrett. Then control of the Pac-10 race really came down to Oregon's showdown in Tucson against Arizona. They needed an epic drive at the end of the game, marching down the field, finally scoring in the final seconds to force overtime. And then finally prevailing in double overtime. Masoli, again, making all the plays necessary, and that set up the Civil War. Oregon State, Oregon. The winner goes here to Pasadena. They were down 9 in the 3rd quarter. Blunt got them going. Had a touchdown run. A big game from LaMichael James, and Oregon, a furious rally, a very hard-fought victory by 4 points over Oregon State. So a season that began with a disaster start, comes here, and what a job by Chip Kelly in his first season to kind of right the ship.
Yeah, I think that it was important for Chip Kelly and for that whole staff to address the LeGarrette Blunt ordeal head on and get it behind them. That allowed their team to move on. They had a fantastic year. They just really manhandled USC, and they started to build momentum. They lost to Stanford, but they knew who they were. They had their identity, and that's why they're here in this game today, Jesse.
And Chip Kelly has a great quarterback in Jeremiah Masoli, but he's a very excitable player that gets very pumped up early in big games. Sometimes too pumped up. And Chris, we saw him early in the Civil War this year against Oregon State, excited, throwing those high, hard laser balls, some that led to interceptions. That's bad news early against Ohio State. They have 23 interceptions on the season, second most in the country. Jeremiah Masoli has to play within himself, and like head coach Chip Kelly always tells him, let the game come to you. That is critical. This is the biggest game he's ever played in his life. Settle down, just let the game come.
He'll settle down. He's a good player. But one thing about Oregon, they are quick strike. They'll strike wherever they are, and they score from any place on the field. They are very quick. Speed is the secret to Oregon's football team.
I think the avoidance of turnovers is huge. Masoli carries that football like a loaf of bread out there. Defenders at Ohio State know that. But Chip Kelly said he's had a great week of practice, Jesse. Very calm. Can he stay calm when the flag drops out here? We'll see.
Run the football. Let those great running backs help you out. That's the best friend for a quarterback.
One of the storylines on New Year's Day 2010, the final football game for Bobby Bowden at Florida State, and he picks up win number 389 in the Gator Bowl against his former employer of West Virginia. Noles win it 33-21. It was a big day for the running back. Jermaine Thomas ran for 121 yards and a couple of touchdowns. They had to come from behind, but congratulations to Coach Bowden, who caps a glorious career with a 12-point win in the Gator Bowl. More as we count down to the kickoff of the Rose Bowl right after this.
Don't talk to me about Destiny.
Destiny doesn't run a 5K before every practice.
I don't really like Destiny. Destiny doesn't push this hard.
Destiny's never driven 2 hours to practice.
I bet Destiny can't do this.
Destiny doesn't get back up.
Again.
And again.
And again.
By the way, that was some luck.
I bet you Destiny's not doing this.
Destiny makes excuses.
Destiny doesn't remember.
With 5 seconds left, Destiny panics.
Destiny doesn't decide if we win.
We do.
We do.
We do.
We do. We do.
Now, part of the pageantry of the Tournament of Roses, the Rose Queen. We congratulate Natalie Innocenzi and the Grand Marshal, Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger, the heroic pilot who landed that plane on the Hudson River, Grand Marshal of the parade this morning. Today, the family of the late Gary DeSano, former president of the Tournament of Roses, is here to represent his legacy, his wife, Sabina, his 3 children, Christina, Stephanie, and Dominic. Gary was a volunteer for more than 35 years, working his way up to executive committee president. He selected the theme, A Cut Above the Rest, for the 2010 Rose Parade, which will be dedicated to him along with the Rose Bowl. All right, guys, time for predictions.
Yeah, let's go.
You ready?
I'll go first. I got the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Jeremiah Masoli and LaMichael James, that offense is going to be too much for Ohio State's defense.
I'm taking Oregon also. I think that Ohio State offensively is going to be too one-dimensional to keep up with a quick scoring pace of Oregon. It'll be Oregon's first Rose Bowl win since 1917.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's got to pick Ohio State here. We're in the Ohio State section.
Right in front of Ohio State.
Of course, so in the headgear pick, he won his last 8 headgear picks on college game.
All right.
Right in the Ohio State crowd. Here they go.
Better you than me. Better you than me.
Oh, man. A brave man right here in the Scarlet and Gray section. 2 picks for the Ducks on the outside. Mr. Corso goes with Oregon. Got a feeling Ohio State might make this a Big Ten day. We'll be back here to see at halftime much more what happened on New Year's Day. But time now as the atmosphere builds inside the Rose Bowl to kick it up to the guys who call the game. The 96 Rose Bowl presented by Citi. Back upstairs now to Brent Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit. Guys, take it away.
Well, Chris, we thank you, and certainly all the excitement, the pageantry, the drama, and the dreams which are in the making here are reflected in the timeless icon for which this game is named, the Rose.
Like the poet said, a rose is a rose is a rose. But it is also a symbol that means more than mere beauty. It stands for self-preservation, as a slender stem protected by a sting, or in the bramble, finding the strength in numbers. To survive a season, stretch to this high point and blossom in the sun. The rose represents depth. Layer after layer of new light ready to shine. And there are so many vital parts to these teams, greater than their sum, united by their purpose. And of course, the rose says romance, like the long-lasting love affair between a school from the heartland and its extended family, or the passion for a team that has heard the prayers of the Pacific Northwest and answered them all year long. The rose stands for life, drawing blood or stirring it. It is a gift, a flower. And this is the game that shares its name.
Live at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, site of a holiday tradition that has brightened the new year for over a century. And on a beautiful Southern California afternoon, we welcome you to the Rose Bowl presented by Citi. Today, the Ohio State Buckeyes, Big Ten champions for the 5th straight year, face the Oregon Ducks, Pac-10 champions for the first time since 2001. What a beautiful setting it is every year here, Kirk, in the Rose Bowl. I know just before kickoff, you tingle a little bit just waiting for the showdown, the Rose Bowl.
Well, there are so many great venues in college football, and there's such an emphasis put on the BCS championship game. But every year, you and I are reminded, and our crew, we're reminded about what's unique about college football and the tradition, the pageantry. There's nothing like this venue, in my opinion, in all of sports.
Now, when we get to football, the Oregon offense and Jeremiah Masoli, there's something.
Well, we've been talking about him all day and really all season. And Jeremiah Masoli and this Oregon offense, right now, in my opinion, the most explosive offense in college football. Keep an eye on 21, LaMichael James, really where the offense gets started. His ability to get upfield and burst in such a hurry. Now, if you pay too much attention to James, that's when Masoli makes big plays with his feet. And he has the ability also to get the ball downfield. Watch out for 23, Jeff Mayo, in the passing game. So they have a balanced attack, even though most of the attention is on their running game.
Is the name Vince Young ring a bell? Buckeye fans everywhere are waiting for a Terrell Pryor to step out and play like a Vince Young.
Yeah, Terrell Pryor talked this week about he looks at Jeremiah Masoli and he thinks, you know what, I think of myself a lot like Jeremiah Masoli, ability to run and throw. It starts with his speed. 6'6", 235 pounds, has the ability to improvise when things break down. This has really been where he's been at his best this year, but I think today is the key. His ability to throw downfield to this man, DeVier Posey, is something to watch in this game, because in the last 3 games for Ohio State, their stretch run to a Big Ten championship, they've kind of taken the ball away from Terrell Pryor. You can see at the bottom, 17 attempts in all 3 games, and he's only thrown the football for an average of less than 100 yards in those 3 games. So they've really won despite his ability to throw the ball. Today in this game in the Rose Bowl, I think for them to win, it's going to be because his ability to throw the ball downfield.
I was down on the field when Nick Aliotta, the Oregon defensive coordinator, came on the field, and he caught sight of Pryor for the first time. He said, Uh-oh.
Wow.
He's a big dude. How come he couldn't still be playing basketball?
Yeah.
So that is, of course, the scene that is set here today in Pasadena. But right now, we're going to go down to the Oregon Marching Band for our national anthem. Beautiful sight as the Super Hornets from the VFA 22 Fighting Redcocks out of the Lemoore Naval Air Station roar overhead. Right now, we're going to roar down below, and here's our Lisa Salters. Lisa?
Well, Brent, earlier this week, Ohio State quarterback Terrell Pryor really kind of surprised a few people when he revealed that his left knee is a bit banged up, and he said that he's been told that he could be playing with a slight tear in the knee. Now, according to Ohio State officials, Pryor has not received any treatment on the knee, and he has practiced as usual, so it doesn't appear that it is serious, and his health shouldn't be a factor in the game this afternoon. But definitely something to keep in mind, guys, because on Wednesday, when I asked Pryor personally how the knee felt, he said, quote, "It feels weak, but I can't worry about it. I've just got..."
Say, as we take a look at the journey that Oregon has traveled, and you think back to that Labor Day weekend, beaten badly by Boise State, and then the punch that reverberated around college football for months, as they regrouped as a team and they came roaring down the stretch. And by the time that the Pac-10 campaign was over, they had won the championship. They beat Oregon State in one of the great Civil War matchups in Eugene. And you can see the yellow and green, the familiar colors of the Ducks, who have come down here in droves from the Northwest. And we pan across to the scarlet and gray of the Buckeye fans, who likewise are here in huge numbers. One of the toughest tickets in many a year. The Rose Bowl, and now there is Chip Kelly, first-year coach, bringing the Ducks out. Jim Tressel and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Interesting that the Buckeyes, too, struggled in the early going. USC traveled to Columbus in early September. Tough fourth quarter loss at the hands of the Trojans. Then that upset loss at Purdue, their worst performance of the year. But they, too, regrouped. And they came bounding down the stretch, winning their last 5 games and capturing another Big Ten title. And here is young Pryor out on the field. His final private thoughts before this game begins. And right now we're going to go down to our Rose Bowl referee for the Big 12 Conference, Scott Novak, for the pregame ceremonies and the coin toss.
This is the Rose Bowl coin for today. This is Oregon. This is Ohio State. Mr. Sullenberger will flip the coin. Whoever side comes up will win the toss. Let me introduce the dignitaries for today's Rose Bowl game. First, Jack Drew, Acting President, Tournament Roses Association. Dominic Desano, Son of President, Gary Desano. And our Grand Marshal for today's game, Captain Sully Sullenberg. Mr. Sullenberg, you have the honor of flipping the coin, sir. Oregon, you won the toss. Your choice. Oregon won the toss, elected to defer, want the ball. Which way you want to kick? Okay, Ohio State, put you back there. Oregon over here. Ohio State over here. Start first half. Ohio State will receive. Good luck, guys.
So Jim Tressel's offense will take the field with the first series here at this Rose Bowl game, and Chip Kelly will be on defense as they deferred. And let's go down to Lisa with Coach Kelly.
Thank you very much, Brent. Chip, your offense takes up-tempo to a whole new level. What impact are you hoping that the speed of your attack will have on this game?
You know, we're always trying to wear the other team down and see if they can play at our pace. I don't think it's something that you can do 1 or 2 weeks to get ready for. You know, it's a way we play all the time.
Now, you have stressed to your guys all season long to live in the moment. What did you say to your players before you left the locker room to prepare them for this Rose Bowl moment?
The moment doesn't get any better than this. I love them with all my heart. Go play football the Oregon way.
All right, thank you very much, Chip, and good luck to you. Guys?
Thank you so much, Lisa. And everybody just sit back, settle in. We watched a lot of football. And let's let Oregon and Ohio State bring it to you here at the beginning. The journey begins. Herron. Young Pryor will take over at the 25-yard line, Herbie. And will they keep it simplified? Will they keep it reduced for him today?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be able to afford to do that with the ability that Oregon has to score points. I think maybe early in the game to settle him down, but at the same time, in talking to Jim Tressel, he really feels that Terrell Pryor's ability to throw the ball vertically downfield will be a big part of Ohio State's plan today against this style of Oregon defense.
Sane will open as the running back, number 3, Brandon Sane, alongside Pryor. And on first down, fires middle, incomplete. Second down and 10 as we take a look at the offensive lineup of the Buckeyes presented by Taco Bell. Always good offensive line, but it's healthy today. Mike Brewster completely healthy and ready to anchor the middle. The skill players do not overlook Zach Boren. All week they have practiced circling him out of the backfield as an extra receiver. There's the screen out the side to Zanzenbacher. And it puts him in third down as we take a look at our Taco Bell defensive lineup for the Ducks. Very active, not a big defense. Tukuafu up front is an outstanding defensive end, as is Kenny Rowe. Linebackers, you remember the name Casey Matthews? Seems like every time USC played in the Rose Bowl, there was a Matthews. That secondary, keep an eye on number 2, T.J. Ward, one of the best hitters in the college game. Then on this third down, Pryor will take off. There's the problem he creates. Was he hobbling a little bit when he went out of bounds over there, Herbie?
When he made that cut, but you can see this is the problem on third down, that he can give a defense. The linebackers clear out, and Brent, you're right. Right here, I think he's already beginning to hobble a bit, and then definitely when he steps out of bounds, there's a noticeable limp here from Pryor. The cut right there to the outside. Now, he's talked about a knee bothering him. This is the first time he's had to use his legs here early in this game. We'll keep a very close eye on his status throughout the ball game, obviously.
That was a 3rd and 6, and he ran for 24. And they are throwing early and often here today. And one of the things to keep in mind as Posey, probably his most dangerous wide receiver, makes his first catch. Keep in mind that they are short-handed at the wide receiver spot. Ray Small, the senior, is not here, violation of team rules. Deron Carter, who's a fine prospect, is not here because of academics. So they are short-handed there, Herbert.
They are short-handed, but they have a lot of confidence in the young receivers that are now stepping up to replace the 2 that they've lost.
Second down, throws for another first down. Very impressively as Posey makes his second catch. Terrell Pryor may be growing up right in front of us on this Rose Bowl afternoon.
5 plays and 5 straight pass plays to open the game for Jim Tressel and Terrell Pryor. The weakness of the Oregon defense is on the perimeter. The secondary, especially at corner. If you have a quarterback that can throw the football and receivers that can make plays against this attacking defense, you can attack them through the air.
Torian Washington's an added receiver. There's that flanker screen to Sanzenbacher as they go and attack the edge, and it's good for 7 yards.
Oregon's strength as a defense is running to the football, chasing the football up close to the line of scrimmage with their speeds. They, at times, because of the lack of size in the defensive line, they're willing to get their safeties and linebackers up really close to the line of scrimmage, and it does leave them vulnerable at times to one-on-one coverage on the outside.
There's the handoff to Sane. Another first down, barges across the 15-yard line, and the Bucks rolling early as Eddie Pleasant makes the stop for Oregon.
This is an offensive lineman loves to see a passing game work because it tends to open up some creases in the running game. Brent, you talked about it. The offensive line is not only healthy now, but they come into this game with a great deal of confidence. In the last 5 games since the Purdue loss, they've averaged 258 yards a game on the ground.
Good protection, incomplete. Sanzenbacher the intended target, and it'll be second down and 10. Paysinger was the defender there.
This Ohio State football team, when they get down into the red zone, you can see they've not had a lot of success. But I think a lot of that has been because of the play calling and the design of the offense that they have had been much more conservative in the last 5 games than what they've shown in this opening drive.
And Boren is to the quarterback's left. He picks up the blitzer. Fire, end zone, in and out of Posey's hands. Had a crack at it just inside the pylon.
This is a matchup that Ohio State wants to try to exploit. Anytime they're going to get DeVere Posey, who they feel is their most talented wide receiver, one-on-one in coverage, especially down in this area, they want to try and throw him the football. Pryor puts the ball where Posey, you would think, would be able to make that catch. One-on-one against the sophomore Anthony Gilden. He's there. He's got to hold on to the football for that touchdown.
Pryor. Sane. Touchdown, Ohio State. Aaron Petrie back. He will kick extra points and field goals here today. And does this mean that upstairs are going to take a look at this?
Yeah, they're going to take a look to see if he kept his feet in bounds after he made this catch. It looked like he was tiptoeing, but looks like his right foot did stay in bounds. And how about the toughness of Brandon Sane running right over Talmadge Jackson? He's in bounds. The close part was right here. He's got plenty of room. He goes over top of Talmadge Jackson and shows his toughness. Brandon Sane, finally healthy. He's known as a speed back, but with his health this year, he has shown the ability to run with a lot of power. How about that drop?
Review. Ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
10 plays, 9 pass plays that were called. Ended up scrambling on one of them.
You called it.
Yeah.
Take the cellophane off the young quarterback.
That's exactly right.
So here is Petrie, back from an injury. His replacement, Devin Barkley, due to handle kickoffs here today. They were worried about his leverage in the kickoff portion of the game, but Petrie tacks on the extra point.
They're training their minds. They're training their bodies. They're honing their skills. They're getting ready for the ultimate trip to Super Bowl 44. Are you?
Rule number 72, live large. Want to be on the Bud plane to Super Bowl 44? Visit Budweiser.ca for details. Must be 21 or older, no purchase necessary.
Avatar.
Introducing Payne's newest Vanishing Act.
New Icy Hot Vanishing Scent Gel. Glides on icy to dull the pain, then gets hot to relax it away. And the scent vanishes.
New Icy Hot Vanishing Scent. Make pain and scent a Vanishing Act.
Being busy with 4 kids, I always found excuses to not necessarily get to the gym.
So when EA Sports Active came out, I was excited. I felt like I could finally have something to be accountable to.
I was exercising and I was sweating within 10 minutes. I felt myself getting stronger.
I've tried other programs. Now they're all collecting dust. The EA Sports Active just inspired me. It was the gateway to a whole new healthy lifestyle.
EA Sports Active keeps you motivated with fun and effective workouts on the Wii. Now stay active with more workouts. Rated E for everyone.
New Bourbon Whopper, bourbon sauce, sweet, tangy. Observe how to taste the awesome. Remove wraparound shades. Respect the crispy onion rings. Inhale the bacony deliciousness. Take bite. Bonus step. Immortalize. New Bourbon Whopper. Taste the awesome. Only at Burger King.
Orange Bowl, Tuesday on TSN.
Well, Jeremiah Masoli will be out next. We'll see about that Duck offense. But keep this in mind about Kenyon Barner, number 24, who is back deep against UCLA. When they were struggling Start of the second half, he took it back 100 yards. The second half kickoff for a touchdown. They exploded for 3 touchdowns in 6 plays to take charge of the Bruins on that day. Jeremiah Masoli did not quarterback Oregon on that Saturday afternoon. He was out with a knee injury, but he'll be here today, and Varner now awaits the Barkley kickoff. Here he comes. Stopped at the 26-yard line, and so, Herbie, our first look today at Masoli.
Well, I'm sure Masoli's anxious to get on the field after what Terrell Pryor and the Buckeyes did on their opening drive. It's about poise and composure. He's the X factor on this offense, ability to run the football. Ohio State is anxious to show that they can tackle and defend the running game. Much like Pryor, Masoli's going to have to make some plays also with his arm against an attacking defense.
Michael James motions out of the backfield. They go empty. And now it's Masoli's turn. Throw in underneath with blockers in front of the back for a first down. We take Go Bell starting offensive lineup for these high-powered Oregon Ducks. Offensive line, and Jordan, the Yuba City, California, he anchors it. He's a good James as a receiver. Jeff Mayo is one of those underrated wide receivers who just does the job game after game after game. And here comes Varner, who they send him in, and it is a first down for the Ducks. We take a look at the Ohio State defense, and here's the big matchup. Cameron Hayward, one of the best defensive ends in the country. The linebackers, Roll and Homan, tackling machines. In that secondary, there's Kurt Coleman, all Big Ten safety. On a first down now, off that read option, Masoli's in trouble. There is that defensive front, and Cameron Hayward with his of the season rolls in on Masoli.
I mean, the margin of error for this Oregon offensive line is very, very slight because of the athletic ability and size of Ohio State's defensive line. Oregon's had a lot of success in the Pac-10, but Brent, by far, this is the most talented defensive front with the depth that they have that they've faced all year.
James is stopped as he crosses the 42-yard line.
And when you create negative plays as a defense against Chip Kelly's style of offense, it's such an option attack-oriented offense. You get them into third down and long, it takes them out of their comfort zone, and it allows Ohio State to get creative or get conservative, depending on what they want to dial up here on third and long.
As the play breaks down, takes off, and he'll go out of bounds, far side. Coleman closing in, and the Ducks are going to be forced to punt on their first series of this Rose Bowl.
You've got to go back to the first down play by Hayward, which ended up disrupting the rhythm of this Oregon offense. This is an offense that thrives on 2nd and 2 and 3rd and 3. You put them in 2nd and 3rd and long, and they get into big trouble.
Posey will replace Small as the return man on punts. Rice. This one could be down inside the 5. It is. And that's where they will miss returning punts. He knew when to fair catch the ball. Timeout.
No team sets out to hunt the wild card. But there's no denying the thrill of the chase. And when a tip pass interception becomes a touchdown drive, faith becomes the offensive strategy no one counted on. Rule number 16, keep the faith.
Millions of people around the world depend on Toyota trucks to get them there and back again under grueling conditions. Everything we've learned out there has gone in here. The all-new 2010 Toyota 4Runner sure has learned a lot. Now it's stronger, safer, smarter.
Thank you. Pardon us. Excuse me.
Cialis. Ask your doctor if Cialis is right for you.
ESPN's coverage of the Rose Bowl game on ABC. Presented by Citi. Proud to present the granddaddy of them all. The all-new Ram Heavy Duty. Motor Trend's 2010 Truck of the Year. Bud Light, with the just right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability. And the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Well, there is Sully Sullenberger, everybody's hero. Herbie, you and I had a chance to meet him the other night. I can't get over just what a nice gentleman he is, and talking about that incredible afternoon when he landed that jet in the Hudson River. Pryor now with Herron as his running back, hands it off far side, and a good first down run before Paysinger gets to him. There's a flag down on the play.
It came in a little bit late there, Brent, in the secondary.
Personal foul, face mask on a defense number 11, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's Eddie Pleasant, the linebacker, who is guilty.
He's actually trying to deal with the block from Zach Boren, the guy that you've talked a lot about. And Zach Boren was leading the way around the outside there for Boom Herron. Eddie Pleasant, kind of back on his heels, just gave up and just grabbed hold of his face mask and ripped his helmet off of his head.
Middle for Herron, a 9-yard burst.
Right, I know we've talked a lot about Terrell Pryor, but let's take a look at the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam to see how this offensive line right now is really winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. Great job in the first drive with pass protection and giving Terrell Pryor time to throw. And now here starting the second drive, starting to take control and pushing Oregon back in the run game.
A little bit slow on that read option on the handoff, and the Ducks jumped the play. Bear and Rowe all over it.
I've talked to a lot of people who have looked at Terrell Pryor, other coaches who have recruited Terrell Pryor, and you've been around the game, Brent, a long time. Have you ever seen a guy as heavily scrutinized as Terrell Pryor? He comes in his second year as a starting quarterback, 8 new starters around him, and he's trying to do, the unenviable, trying to live up to such unrealistic expectations.
3rd and 3. He keeps it again this time. Got the first down. That was well done. He had the ball, and he brought it back and took off himself.
He took it himself, and he got the football into his left arm. And you see the stiff arm right there. Gives you an idea of the strength that he has as he just pushed down Eddie Pleasant, the linebacker, and throws him to the ground and then gets upfield for a first down.
That was rather unpleasant. Sticking with the power eye, a couple of yards.
Pryor, exactly what he needed to do in this drive was to be able to establish himself and get his confidence going, Brent. He's answered a lot of questions throughout the bowl preparation about whether or not he's still a big part of the offense, and only throwing the ball an average of 17 times in the last 3 games, being very conservative. I think he really wanted to come out and start well, and he definitely did that in that first drive.
Pryor, Sanzenbacher, first down, Buckeyes.
High percentage passes here for Terrell Pryor. And he's in rhythm like any quarterback. He's got a chance to be able to make plays. And Oregon will leave the Ohio State receivers one-on-one because of the amount of blitzing they do. They have a lot of confidence. They want to force Terrell Pryor to show that he can throw the football to win this game.
Penalty flag. Herron for a couple. But the line judge on the near side threw the flag in front of the Buckeye bench.
Offside. Defense, number 45. Line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Terrell Turner. Guilty.
Oregon has to stick to their game plan, even though Terrell Pryor right now is in a rhythm and playing with a lot of confidence. Nick Aliotti saying this week that one of the things that they have to do, if it takes 8, put 8 guys at the line of scrimmage. If it takes 9, put 9. We have to stop Terrell Pryor from running and Brandon Sane and Boom Herron from running the football. Make him throw.
Boren leads the play, and nothing doing as the Ducks jump Dan Herron that time. Inside of 6 minutes here in the opening quarter of this Rose Bowl. Look at our beautiful scene. Pryor's in trouble. Down, sack at the 39-yard line. Kenny Rowe, who now has 9.5 sacks this season.
Well, Kenny Rowe is going to be right here. He has the ability to eventually, through patience, fight his way and not give up on it. He comes off of Jake Ballard to tight end, and because of his effort and relentless attitude, he's eventually able to take down Terrell Pryor. If he doesn't bring him down there, Pryor ends up making a big play.
Third and a bunch, and Pryor in trouble again. Deep middle, incomplete. Santabacher the target, and T.J. Ward with him every step of the way.
This is what Oregon needed to do. The big stop and the big sack on second down by Kenny Rowe. Looks like Kenny Rowe has his way again, this time with Jim Cordell, never giving up on the play and almost comes up with another sack. But enough here just to make Pryor throw it before he wants to, and the Ducks force the Buckeyes to punt.
Now Barnard. There's a penalty on this play and another flag. So we've got 2 penalties on this return by Kenyon Barnard.
One's for sure on Crenshaw, number 22, who's trying to deal with Kurt Coleman. I think the huddle has everything to do, obviously, with that second flag.
There are 2 fouls, both against the receiving team. During the return, blocking the back, number 1 of the receiving team. Penalties decline. Holding during the kick, receiving team number 1. Penalized from the end of the kick, half the distance of the goal. Timeout on the field.
One more and Marvin Johnson would have been arrested.
The trifecta. Wow.
We've got a timeout in Pasadena.
They're training their minds. They're training their bodies. They're honing their skills. They're getting ready for the ultimate trip to Super Bowl 44. Are you?
Rule number 72, live large. Want to be on the Bud plane to Super Bowl 44? Visit Budweiser.ca for details. Must be 21 or older, no purchase necessary.
Some people like comedies, others drama. I like the weather report.
Slight chance of rain.
So when I was driving my son Tim to hockey last week, I knew that there was only a 5% chance of flurries coming in from the west. Well, they were wrong. So I went to Canadian Tire and bought a pair of Armor All Edge silicone wiper blades. The silicone forms a water-repellent barrier that lasts as long as the wipers do. No streaks. Now the forecast is always clear. At least on my windshield.
Armor All Edge silicone wiper blades. Only at Canadian Tire.
Whoa, hold the phone. So, you're ordering the perfect pizza with roasted tomatoes, a blend of 4 cheeses, and delicious Tuscan-style chicken, all on a delicate, crispy flatbread crust. Well, in that case, you'll have to order it from a little place we like to call Delicio. I'll show myself out. Crispy flatbread pizza by Delicio. So much more than delivery.
We welcome you back to the 96 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Well, the last time the Buckeyes came to Pasadena for a Rose Bowl, 1997, against Arizona State. Herbie, that day Dick Vermeil worked with me, and Joe Germain was the hero on that last drive. The coach was John Cooper. And now the Buckeyes come back first time under head coach Jim Tressel. Read option, and James is read perfectly by Thaddeus Gibson, the defensive end for the Bucks.
This defensive line, that was the matchup. You had talked about that at the beginning of this game. How would Oregon handle the talent of this defensive line, this size? Because it's not just one guy. You know, when Oregon played Oregon State in the Civil War, it was a very talented defensive lineman they tried to contain. This is across the board, 4 guys that you have to try to account for on every single snap.
Masoli keeping it all the way and nothing doing. Keeping number 8 bottled up. Hayward and Torrance credited with that stop.
Well, Hayward is having a great game. How many times in the big games for Ohio State late in the year have you seen 97 making plays, fighting through both ran? Also, Ohio State brought the corner blitz that time from Devon Torrance on the boundary, just trying to help and run support. Great call that time by Jim Haycock and Luke Fickell.
3rd and long again. From his own end zone. Should have been intercepted. Anderson Russell, who had 2 big interceptions against Iowa, had a interception and it got away from him.
I think it surprised Anderson Russell that the ball got through the hands of Ed Dixon and then it snuck up on him. If he ends up catching that football, he's got a shot there to maybe take it into the end zone. But Ed Dixon, the ball a little bit, maybe a little bit more, had a little bit more heat than maybe he anticipated, went right through his hands.
Now Jackson Rice, the freshman, deep in his own end zone. He's had 1 block, gets this one out cleanly. And Posey this time signals for the fair catch at midfield. Terrell Pryor and the Bucks with an early lead have a short field to work with when we come back.
There's having it done. Then there's doing it yourself and saving. You just need to roll up your sleeves and take your ideas to the Home Depot. You'll find the right tools and the right know-how. And since we've lowered the prices on hundreds of items you need most, you can also get more done. We're giving you everything you need to get the bragging rights you deserve. More saving, more doing at the Home Depot.
Did you know that Gillette Fusion lasts longer than a Gillette disposable? A single Fusion cartridge lasts up to 3 weeks. Gillette Fusion. It's 5 blades with an anti-friction coating shaped closer, more comfortably, and lasts longer than a Gillette disposable. Flip it over and there's a precision trimmer for those tricky spots. Switch your disposable razor to Gillette Fusion for Gillette's closest, most comfortable shave. Guaranteed.
This
This Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $30 million. Lotto Max, live your dreams to the max.
This Christmas, don't miss Sherlock Holmes. It's spectacular entertainment.
It is no mean feat indeed.
Golden Globe nominee Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant.
Trust me, I'm a professional.
Sherlock Holmes.
Now playing in theaters. Check local listings.
Well, here is our view from the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam as we send you this postcard on a Rose Bowl Friday afternoon. Beautiful weather. A couple days ago, rained in Southern California. Cleared away. Just gorgeous. Terrell Pryor with a 7-point lead. Down, wide open, Sane. Got it. Foot race. First and goal. The young man who scored the touchdown. That's 46 yards with Kenny Rowe, the defender in pursuit.
They're going to slip him out of the backfield on a wheel route. Oregon again bringing pressure. One-on-one coverage with Brandon Sane with a safety. Ward, or actually the defensive end that time, dropping back into coverage is Rowe, and he's no way he's going to be able to stay with Brandon Sane. Brandon Sane, in his first 3 years at Ohio State, seems to always be slipping out of the backfield, down the sidelines on those wheel routes and showing great hands.
Wonderful tightrope work down that sideline to stay in bounds. And they're going to take a look at it upstairs. From our view, he was in bounds all the way. There was one step where he was really, really close.
Second time that Brandon Sane's been near that right boundary, trying to keep his feet in bounds. So far, it's good. It's good. Good.
Right there.
Right there's the call. Yep. It's like he's able to stay in bounds all the way down, but a great call. And how about the touch by Terrell Pryor? He actually threw that football
feathered it
before Brandon Sane even had a chance to look back. It was just a soft touch. So today, so far, we've seen him throw the ball with velocity to have to get it into tight coverage. And this time, a very, very soft touch over the shoulder of Brandon Sane.
The Buckeyes, meanwhile, burn a timeout to get set here with a first and goal, up 7. Stoneburner, bad snap, mishandled by Pryor. Tries to save it, dives forward, back to the 6. There is the 6'6", 235-pound sophomore.
Well, the athletic ability and the ability to improvise, it's one thing to catch up to him. And Oregon has the speed. That's T.J. Ward trying to bring him down along with Eddie Pleasant. It's another thing to try to bring the big fella down at 6'6", 235 pounds. Eddie Pleasant's 5'11", 207. He's got the speed, but it's a whole different argument trying to bring the big guy down.
Pryor to the 4. T.J. Ward with the stop.
It's a great job there by Oregon's defense, keeping Pryor inside and forcing him to cut up into the teeth of the defense where there's 3 or 4 more green jerseys waiting for him. You lose contain with Terrell Pryor, and he can get to the corner and into the end zone in a hurry.
They're going to spread the field a little bit. 3 wide. Posey, Sanzenbacher, and Washington checks in. Pryor cut off. Won't make it.
First time we've had a chance to see Casey Matthews. That time, really nice job of getting away from the blocks and then finally getting upfield there to be able to push Terrell Pryor down to hit big hit.
Devin Barkley will trot out now and attempt this field goal. Keep in mind that Aaron Petrie had tacked on the extra point. So we are wondering if he re-injured that knee on that extra point. This is Barkley, who had kicked off. He kicks the field goal, and it is 10-0 Buckeyes. It is number 1 versus number 2. on ABC. And remember, it is next Thursday night at 8 Eastern. That's January 7th for the City BCS National Championship. And, of course, Mark Ingram, recently the winner of the Heisman Trophy, and Colt McCoy, the Longhorn quarterback. We certainly look forward to that match. There can be no dispute about those two fine teams playing for the national championship this year. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult anybody from Boise or from Cincinnati or any of the other great teams that we're chasing. But it is a heck of a matchup.
Oh, it's a great matchup. I mean, Texas comes into this game as a slight underdog, and Alabama comes in with so much confidence, and to have it played in this stadium will be special. January 7th will be the culmination of an exciting and outstanding year once again in college football.
Why didn't you kick me when I failed to mention TCU?
Oh, I was like, TCU could have a little bit of an argument.
Barkley bobbled at the 13, and then Varner picks it up and returns it to the 42-yard line.
You look at these first couple of series for Oregon, and they're in a little bit of unfamiliar territory by being forced to punt the first two series of this game. And I think what they're going to do is maintain their poise. This is a football team that's been on the ropes in a lot of games and have found ways to win football games. And the fact that they have a leader like Jeremiah Masoli who has so much confidence is big. But I think you're going to start to see Masoli trying to get the quick passing game going and trying to challenge Ohio State more on the perimeter here, and maybe that can get the running game opened up.
Starts with an end to run, and Varner on the edge comes up big. One way to defeat that big, swift defensive line, get over on the edge and make something happen.
Yeah, either you get the ball out quick with a pass or you do it on a reverse here, and Varner has the same kind of explosiveness that LaMichael James has. If he gets to the corner, again, he can get downfield in a hurry.
Here's Masoli keeping it himself. Barges across the 10-yard line.
All of a sudden, a big play by Varner and a fake to LaMichael James on the option read, and Ohio State starts to chase that because you have to respect the speed, and it leaves Masoli open.
Up-tempo, Masoli on the roll. He'll throw it away. So we have come to the end of the first quarter, which until just the very end has been dominated by Ohio State. But Varner's 37-yard run turned things in Oregon's favor. And this presentation of the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi returns after this message and a word from our ABC station.
This SportsCenter update is brought to you by Campbell's Chunky MVC, most valuable coach. Visit chunkymvc.ca to nominate now.
Hello, Canada, and we hope you're enjoying your New Year's Day. Just a reminder, the next edition of SportsCenter comes your way at midnight Eastern. Here are some of the things making news on this January 1st. Winter Classic at Fenway Park, overtime. 2-on-1, Daniel Briere keeps and is stopped by Tim Thomas. At the other end, Canadian Olympian Patrice Bergeron feeds Marco Sturm. He'll tip in the game winner. Bruins come back, make the final 2-1 Boston. Now, after the game, the American Olympic hockey team was unveiled. Maple Leaf teammates Phil Kessel, Mike Komisarek were named to the team, as was Bruins goaltender Tim Thomas. For the full roster, you can see it at ctvolympics.ca. And ESPN is reporting the Blue Jays held a private workout for a 21-year-old Cuban pitching prospect by the name of Aroldis Chapman. His fastball, 102 miles an hour.
Millions of people around the world depend on Toyota trucks to get them there and back again under grueling conditions. Everything we've learned out there has gone in here. The all-new 2010 Toyota 4Runner sure has learned a lot. Now it's stronger, safer, smarter.
This Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $30 million. Lotto Max, live your dreams to the max.
You know the nights. Those unbelievable, unrepeatable nights
It'll make you feel lucky to say I was there.
The world's most popular poker site means more tables and tournaments, more different poker games, more opportunities to learn, and over 20 million people around the world to compete with. You'll find the most players, the most poker games, and the best tournaments only at the world's largest poker site. Learn and play for free at PokerStars.net.
Women's hockey, Canada-USA, tonight on TSN2.
We welcome you back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, with Kirk Herbstreit and Lisa Salters. I'm Brent Musburger. We wish all of you a very happy and healthy 2010. The Oregon Ducks trail by 10. James gets the first handoff, and he's to the 7-yard line as we open the second quarter. Right near the top of the hour, and the Buckeyes scored on their first drive and later added a field goal, Herbie.
You see Varner going in motion. Now, just the fact that he's going in motion and running a 4.440 in motion is catching the attention of the Ohio State safeties and linebackers, and it's a slight adjustment here for Oregon in the first half.
On third down, Masoli will throw for it. The end zone incomplete. He had the safety chasing a wide receiver, Mail, a little daylight, but they couldn't connect, and it'll be 4th and goal, and the field goal team for the Ducks trots onto the field.
Well, the pressure there by Kirk Coleman was vitally important for Ohio State, because if Jeremiah Masoli has just a little bit longer, that's his favorite target in this area, Jeff Mail, and Jeff Mail definitely had a chance to get away from Chekwa there to be able to come up with that touchdown.
Nate Costa, the holder who saved the Arizona game, will put it down for Morgan Flint. 24-yarder. And the Ducks are on the scoreboard. (10-3), Ohio State leads.
If you want a close, clean shave, you need a razor blade and hot lather. If you want comfort and convenience, you need an electric shaver. But if you want close and convenience, you need the Microforce. Introducing the world's first microshaver that combines the closeness of a blade with the convenience of an electric. Use it wet or dry for the closest and most comfortable shave ever. Microtechnology makes it smaller than a credit card, but gives it twice the shaving surface of a conventional blade and twice the power of a bulky old electric. That means you get a closer, cleaner, more comfortable shave in half the time. Plus, it's completely waterproof, so you get the closeness of a wet shave with the convenience and comfort of an electric. Now, we don't suggest shaving underwater, but we did it to prove how well Microforce works and how smooth the shave is. And Microforce is rechargeable and holds its charge up to 10 times longer than standard battery shavers. Extremely compact, so it's easy to be perfectly groomed wherever you go. So if you're using a blade to get a close shave or an electric because they're convenient, now you can have the best of both worlds and get the best shave ever with Microforce, a $40 value for only $29.95. As an added bonus, you'll also receive our deluxe grooming kit. It contains every grooming tool you need to always look your best. A $20 value, yours free. Just pay shipping and handling, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. If you don't agree Microforce gives you your best shave ever, simply return it for a full refund, but keep the grooming kit as our gift. That's right, you get the Microforce Wet and Dry Rechargeable Razor, our deluxe grooming kit, and our 60-day best shave ever guarantee. An incredible $60 value, all for only $29.95, but you have to call now.
Show your support for Team Canada at the World Juniors by joining the TSN fan page on Facebook. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TSN. Orange Bowl, Tuesday on TSN2.
Well, for Jeremiah Masoli and the Ducks, this is only the 4th time this season that they have been held scoreless in the opening quarter. And you might find this hard to believe, but the Buckeyes have 140 total yards to the Ducks 56. And remember, 37 of those 56 came on one play. Beard. Short kickoff. Zane runs up to the 15-yard line. They're going to run a reverse on it. That was Russell, the safety, coming around on it, and Mail was not fooled. And a reminder, Thursday, wall-to-wall coverage, and I do mean wall-to-wall, prior to Texas and Alabama. Sports Center at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's pretty early call out here. 60-minute college football live at 3, then on ESPNU at 4, the 3-hour BCS countdown show.
I just got word that you're anchoring the 9 a.m. show.
And I was just about to volunteer you.
Sad part is I'll be up on you.
I know you will. First and 10. Pryor going to keep it all the way to the 17, but it doesn't develop quickly enough, and Boyette is there, Herbie.
Against this plays into the strength of this Oregon defense, the speed. You cannot allow this option attack to develop slowly and stretch the play out. If you're Terrell Pryor, make a decision right now and just cut it upfield for a couple yards. The more you try to stretch it out, it allows the linebackers and safeties for this athletic Oregon defense to close in on you.
Pryor, no more than a yard. Ferris brings him down.
Nice job here by Nick Aliotti here on second down, sensing a pass from Pryor. Look at him twist up front and then bring pressure from the outside. A lot of movement in front of Terrell Pryor this year has caused him to get happy feet. It's something that Oregon talked about. They've seen it. That time they dialed up the blitz at the right time to set up now another third down and long. Watch Pryor on the scramble. Very effective here on third down situations with his scrambling.
Nothing doing. They were ready. They had the pocket surrounded. Paysinger and Matthews.
Oregon has two guys. They're thinking the same thing that we're thinking up here, Brett. Watch as Pryor wants to step up. He's got two guys sitting right there. Defensive tackle Brandon Bear had dropped back almost like a linebacker. There's a linebacker also off to the other side waiting for him. Nowhere for Terrell Pryor to go. Great job the last two plays there by Nick Aliotti and his Ducks defense.
Toma hunting for the Bucks. Barner at the 42-yard line. Gets an edge. Great striking field position for the Ducks. A 28-yard return, and he's the young man who turned in that 37-yard run from scrimmage. So Barner is igniting the Duck team here in Pasadena.
Amplify your drive in a 2010 Dodge Journey. An IIHS top safety pick with up to 36 miles per gallon. All-wheel drive. And innovative storage. The 2010 Dodge Journey. Now get consumer cash plus 0% purchase financing, plus our special gift to you up to $1,500 towards your payments. Only at your Dodge retailer.
Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's Boxing Week sale. An annual gift of Canadian comfort, featuring sofas, recliners, sectionals, and more. Save big throughout the store. It's the Boxing Week sale, where everything is already wrapped in leather and fabric. The Boxing Week sale. Hurry in to start saving now. Comfort, it's what we do. Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery.
TSN and TSN2 double bill. From Philly and Orlando. Wednesday, the NHL on TSN. Leafs, Flyers at 7. And NBA on TSN2. Raps and Magic at 7.
At heart, and they love that trip every year out to Disneyland, nearby Anaheim. Here we are in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl, Oregon and Ohio State. James, who's been bottled up, slips by to the outside, and that's his most effective run of the game.
I want to mention again, after struggling in their first couple series, the adjustment is becoming pretty obvious for Chip Kelly. And a lot of times he'll tell you, it takes me 2 or 3 series to, as much film study as I do, to get a feel for what this defense might be doing, because everybody does something different. They're trying to get the ball out now on the edge with reverses and speed with LaMichael James.
Here's Masoli, going to throw it away. Well, let's take a look, Herbie, at our city inside view.
Now, this is a zone read. You can see the mesh point there, and you can see the eyes of Masoli. He's not looking at the back. He's looking at Thaddeus Gibson for his read. Gibson takes the running back, so he keeps the football and goes right over top of Anderson Russell. That is not predetermined. That's an option read, and based on what Gibson does, dictates what the quarterback Masoli does with the ball.
3rd and 7. Flag. The illegal movement against the Ducks.
Ball start on the offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Darian Weems, backup tackle, taking a crack at this defensive line, I should say, of the Bucks. It causes some problems with this offensive line. Advantage Buckeyes in that matchup so far. 3rd down. Masoli is only 1 of 5 passing. He's missed his last 4. Completes it to James, but not much doing. Back at the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 4th down.
Ohio State disguising coverage, making it look like they're going to blitz and then dropping back. I think they caught Jeremiah Masoli off guard. Brian Rowe and Ross Holman both dropped back in coverage. He wanted to dump the ball underneath, had nowhere to go but to eventually dump it down to James, and there's Holman athletically in space making a play.
Going for it on 4th and 9 from just inside the Bucks 30. Masoli got it right at the 20, very close to the 1st down marker. Jeff Mail, the reliable one. You can see Tressel lobbying for a juggling as he went out of bounds.
Jeff Mail, Brent, you and I concur, one of the most talented receivers that probably most people outside of the Pac-10 have never heard of. He's a guy that just...
And they gave him a 1st down, and before they could even take another look at it upstairs, they quickly moved to James. Now, that was just a wise move on the Ducks' part, so that they were not looking at this to see if he perhaps was juggling. Clearly, the toes are in bounds. He looked like the legendary Raymond Berry working the sideline with that reception. No question about the feet. But you saw what Tressel wanted looked at, and the Ducks said, I don't think so. Back they came. Here's James. And now James seems to be finding his stride. As you take a look at what he's accomplished this year, LaMichael James averaging now 6.9 yards a carry. He has 1,476 yards on the season, Herbert.
And once you start to get your head on a swivel as a defense and you're looking to the outside, that's when they start to go back to the inside. They're constantly battling and attacking in different ways.
That's Barner. Not this time. Second down and goal. He's hit by Brian Roll.
Brent, imagine trying to be a linebacker or a safety, and you're trying to find a way to find out where the football is. You've got a short quarterback. You've got short tailbacks. They're all running to the left and to the right. He's faking to the left. He's faking to the right.
Here comes LeGarrette Blount. First time we've seen him in this game. Number 9. The big back. Powering. Reaching for the end zone. And marked at the 1 by the line judge. Third down and goal. And the reason, of course, Herbie, a lot of people say, why did they make such a big thing out of this? This is the young man who was suspended following the Boise State game when he threw that punch and decked a Boise State player.
Brent, I think this might be a touchdown. Does his body ever touch the ground? I mean, he's landing on top of Kurt Coleman. He runs right over top of him. Does his knee ever touch, or is he landing on Ohio State defenders as he stretches the ball across to try to get it into the end zone? Coleman has the courage to step in front of LeGarrette Blount, but Blount looks like he extends the football across the plane there before his knee touched.
So the replay official upstairs from the Big 12 Conference is taking a look at it.
I think he's just on top of both Coleman and Ross Holman there.
Watch this replay now and watch the knees as he goes up on the 2 Buckeye defenders. Does not appear to touch the ground. So LeGarrette Blount became a father during the fall, has been kept away from the media by the coach, was reinstated and delivered a huge touchdown for the Ducks in the Civil War against Oregon State. And he presents another kind of a problem for Jim Tressel's defense, the power back, that inside runner, and we just got a glimpse of it.
You know, you talk about LeGarrette Blount. Go back to the Oregon State game, 9 carries, 51 yards. Did most of his damage in the red zone area. He's a change of pace back, and because of his power, he's a great compliment to Jeremiah Masoli and LaMichael James and Kenyon Barner. But going back to the strategy, Chip Kelly attacking with the reverse, attacking with the handoff to James, and such great speed.
After further review, the runner was on top of players and was not declared down until he got into the end zone. It'll be a touchdown.
To say it bluntly, he's a load. Morgan Flynn tacks on the point, and Oregon pulls even after spotting the Buckeyes 10.
No team sets out to hunt the wild card, but there's no denying the thrill of the chase. And when a tip pass interception becomes a touchdown drive, faith becomes the offensive strategy no one counted on. Rule number 16, keep the faith.
Did you know that Gillette Fusion lasts longer than a Gillette disposable? A single Fusion cartridge lasts up to 3 weeks. Gillette Fusion. It's 5 blades with an anti-friction coating shaped closer, more comfortably, and lasts longer than a Gillette disposable. Flip it over and there's a precision trimmer for those tricky spots. Switch your disposable razor to Gillette Fusion for Gillette's closest, most comfortable shave. Guaranteed.
Written by a Canadian and voted on by you, the new Hockey Canada cheer has landed in Saskatchewan. Be one of the first million to sign up for Cheer Nation and get your name displayed in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Learn the cheer. Support Hockey Canada. Sign up at Pepsi.ca or text cheer to 12345. Buffalo Wild Wings presents the top 30 plays of the last 30 years. 1. In a wild, high-scoring game versus Miami, Boston College quarterback and eventual Heisman winner Doug Flutie had one last chance to beat the Hurricanes.
Flutie flush, throws it down, caught by Boston College. I don't believe it. It's a touchdown. The Eagles win it.
Thanks for following the top 30 countdown this season. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Gerard Phelan, I will never forget that you were the receiver who caught that ball. And those two teams combined for 92 points that day in the 80s down in the Orange Bowl. And it is remarkable how the legend of Hale Flutie lives on and on. Well, we are even here. Mr. Herbstreit at 10. Brand new deck of cards has been broken out. Buckeyes say deal. Sane. LeGarrette Blount got us even. Let's go down for more from Lisa.
Well, Brandon, very happy LeGarrette Blount over here on the Oregon sideline. Remember that Chip Kelly originally suspended one for the entire season after that punch. And we asked Chip Kelly about that, and he said, number one, I did that because there is no manual on how to handle a situation like that. And he said, number two, I didn't want to suspend him indefinitely because I wanted to make sure that he was doing everything the right way, coming to practice, staying in school, going to class, not for some promise that he would be back on the team, but because that's the kind of guy he is, and that's what we wanted him to do.
Lisa, thank you. Is Terrell Pryor and the Buckeyes take over on their own 20. Pryor complete to the 24-yard line. Herron, the most successful drive for Jim Tressel, Herbie, obviously was the first one of this game.
And in a 10 plays, 74-yard touchdown drive, they called 9 pass plays. 8 of them, Terrell Pryor ended up throwing. He was 5 of 8 on that opening drive. Wouldn't be surprised to see Terrell Pryor at Ohio State try to open things back up.
And that is Herron being jumped. And so Nick Aliotti, who has been the defensive coordinator at Oregon for 18 years, is up there with the sunglasses on, looking down, made some adjustments, Herbie, with that defense, and he's been able to shut them down ever since that opening drive.
Yeah, the big thing that he wants to do, he wants to continue to force Pryor to prove that he can throw the football. And because they're a bit undersized up front, they're attacking the line of scrimmage with the safeties and putting 8, sometimes 9, to try to slow down the Ohio State running game.
Herron, first down, Ohio State.
You look at Boom Herron and Brandon Sane this year for Ohio State, really doing a good job of fighting through some injuries that have slowed them down a bit at times, but mainly it's been the combination of having them both back there. Both surprise you, even though they're a bit undersized, have tremendous power to go along with the quickness.
Pryor, incomplete. Sanzenbacher, the target.
Jim Tressel, I think, sensing Oregon's ability to score. When you see Jim Tressel throwing on 1st and 10, I think it's the respect that he has for Oregon's offense, and also he's seeing a defense that isn't respecting his passing game. So I said this at the beginning of the game before there was a ball thrown. Pryor today is going to have to show his ability to read defenses and throw the football.
Herron to the 37-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and manageable. Boyette with the stop.
At that point of the football game where momentum becomes such a big part of it. Ohio State had it early, and the Ducks scoring 10 unanswered points there in the second quarter obviously have it right now. It's a big 3rd down because of that.
Pryor will take off. Penalty flag. The umpire threw one a little bit late.
Personal foul, face mask, and a defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Brandon Bear, the nose guard, 88, actually lines up like he's going to rush, and then he drops. And he's right there to make a play. It's going to be 4th down. Ohio State's going to punt. Boy, it looked like he just touched the face mask there. Wow, he's in perfect position. They actually rushed 2 and dropped 9 that time on 3rd down and long. In position to make the play and force the punt.
Mariotti stands up for a better look as the Bucks come across midfield after the penalty. 1st and 10. Before the snap, there was movement.
False start on the offense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Shugarts, the right tackle.
Ohio State's first penalty of this football game. When Pryor has his receivers in one-on-one coverage, especially Thazenbacher off to his right in the slot, and Posey, he's got to hit him.
Pryor. Posey. Back to the original line of scrimmage there on the just across midfield.
You know, one of the things, Brent, that Terrell Pryor has to, I think, going to have to be able to do today is come off of his primary receiver. I think Oregon saw a lot of film this in their preparation for this bowl game, that if you can take away Terrell Pryor's primary receiver, he has a tendency to get happy feet and starts to panic a bit, and that's what they're trying to do to try to create some pressure.
Pryor drops it off, but nothing doing. Herron eaten up on the play by Michael Clay.
Michael Clay waited and waited to be able to make this play. It's too easy for Clay to read this. It was slow developing. It was a little bit of just kind of like a shot put of a screen pass where he got it over the defensive line, but because he floated it up in the air, Clay had all day to come in and take down Boom Herron. It was poor execution that time on a screen on 2nd down and long.
Pryor. Complete. 1st down Buckeyes across the 25-yard line. Running back Danny Herron. And that time Pryor was very aware that he was not across the line of scrimmage, that it was a legal pass. He took a peek.
Brent, this time you're going to see Terrell Pryor drop back, and look how he's looking off to his left. He wants to throw the ball to his left to DeVere Posey. The receiver is taken away, so he buys enough time and eventually finds Boom Herron. Good job of showing patience that time by Pryor.
Posey to the 25-yard line, and it will be 2nd and short after the 9-yard gain.
Well, Posey's the big play threat in the Ohio State receiving corps. Because of his size, he's a great target at 6'3", about 205 pounds, but he's sneaky and deceptive, and eventually he's going to try to get behind this man-to-man coverage, and Pryor loves to throw it to him downfield.
Sane. 1st down, Ohio State.
Very balanced attack that Terrell Pryor is leading Ohio State on here, mixing up the run with the pass, and not necessarily getting the best pass protection here, but when he's had his chances to be able to step in and make a throw, boy, he has shown the ability to be accurate today.
Pryor is 12 of 17. Penalty flag thrown on both sides of the line of scrimmage. He's asking if it's an illegal shift.
Legal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Terrell Pryor has to be excited with the game plan and what Ohio State's done in this first half. I think he's felt a bit handcuffed in the last 5 games that Ohio State has played. Since that Purdue loss, where the Buckeyes offense had 5 turnovers, they've been very, very conservative, and that's not been the case today against Oregon.
Pryor, beautiful grab at the 20-yard line. That was Posey working his way across.
Takuafu comes right across the vision there, and you can also see that Spencer Paysinger gets pressure. Pryor puts that football and hopes that his man Posey can come up with it, and because of the strength of his hands, he's able to pull that away from the defender. A lot of movement right now from the Oregon defensive line, twisting and stunning, confusing Ohio State up front.
Pryor, short of the first down. In fact, he just got back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a 3rd down as Paysinger makes the stop.
Here comes more movement. This time they bring the 2 linebackers, and they twist them right into the teeth of the Ohio State offensive line, and eventually Paysinger gets there. Ohio State, again, struggling with the movement and the pressure that Oregon's putting on Terrell Pryor.
So Oregon burns a timeout. So we'll take a break. Ohio State 10, Oregon 10. It's the Rose Bowl presented by Citi.
There's having it done. Then there's doing it yourself and saving. You just need to roll up your sleeves and take your ideas to the Home Depot. You'll find the right tools and the right know-how. And since we've lowered the prices on hundreds of items you need most, you can also get more done. We're giving you everything you need to get the bragging rights you deserve. More saving, more doing at the Home Depot.
This Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $30 million. Lotto Max, live your dreams to the max.
Whoa, hold the phone. So, you're ordering the perfect pizza with roasted tomatoes, a blend of 4 cheeses, and delicious Tuscan-style chicken, all on a delicate, crispy flatbread crust. Well, in that case, you'll have to order from a little place we like to call Delissio. I'll show myself out. Crispy flatbread pizza by Delissio. So much more than delivery.
And quality from A to Z. Now get $500 additional bonus cash on Altima and Maxima, plus $199 a month on the new Altima, or 0% financing on Maxima. Event ends January 4th.
Happy New Year, everybody, as we welcome you back to the 96 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. One of the great traditions on the American sporting calendar. Hope all of you had a lovely New Year's dinner, sitting around enjoying these 2 teams, the best of the Big Ten and the champions of the Pac-10. 3rd and 7. Pryor in a foot race. Trying to bang his way for the first down. Close.
They're going to play man-to-man coverage here, and one of the dangers of playing man is if the quarterback ends up taking off. Now, they've got a linebacker assigned to Terrell Pryor along with his safety, and eventually the safety Ward catches up to him. But I'll tell you, that's a very, very tough thing to ask a safety or linebacker to stay with Terrell Pryor on 3rd and long.
Now, the Bucs are going to burn a timeout. 4th and short. You're deadlocked at 10. You have an athlete at quarterback like Terrell Pryor. Bourne, the lead fullback, over there with Jimmy Tressel and this offensive line. You've just felt the sting of the Duck offense for the first time. So you've got to be thinking, we're going for it on this 4th down when you come back.
Tired of searching through your wallet for cards, cash, and ID? Fed up with sitting on that pocket bulge? Introducing the amazing new Palm Wallet. It's the biggest little wallet ever that holds it all and keeps it organized so you find what you need fast. Look, here's a regular large wallet completely filled. Now here's the Palm Wallet carrying the same number of items. But just look at the difference in size. The Palm Wallet stores everything you see here neatly and securely in one super organizing, super convenient, super small wallet. Yet it fits in the palm of your hand. Incredible! Now reclaim extra space in your purse and carry your wallet in comfort. Crafted of genuine leather, the dual compartment design organizes coupons, parking stubs, loose receipts, your money, and so much more on one side. And the accordion file fold has lots of slots to sort, stack, and store lots of cards on the other side. They're right in sight and easy to pull out, making the drive-thru a breeze. There's even a handy ID window, and the thumb pull puts it right at your fingertips. Is everything always falling out of your wallet? The Palm Wallet zip-around zippers keep it all secure. Similar designer Palm Wallets sell for $70. Call now and get the Palm Wallet in genuine leather for just $14.95. But wait, order right now and we'll send you a second Palm Wallet free. Just pay shipping and handling. Makes a great gift. Plus, you'll get this handy credit card size magnifier with each wallet. Now it's easy to read menus, the phone book, labels, and super small print. You get it all. That's 2 Palm Wallets and 2 credit card size magnifiers, all for an incredible $14.95. And ask how to get the Palm Wallet in brown and red. To order your Palm Wallet for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling, call the number on your screen. So don't delay. Order now.
Well, we get word that the Alabama Crimson Tide has arrived in Southern California, and on Thursday night, they'll play the Texas Longhorns for the Dr. Pepper Coaches Trophy. Next Thursday night, the BCS Championship. So here comes 4th down, and Jim Tressel is going for it.
He's going for it. We were kidding at the break. If they're playing Indiana or Minnesota, he's probably kicking a field goal.
First down. Sane to the 10-yard line.
And I say that because of the respect he has for Oregon's offense. He knows in this area he's got to be able to come up with 7 points, and he's willing to take that chance. The offensive line felt the challenge and got a great push there off to the right side.
Well designed. Tressel sent Bourne over on the wing. Sane took a little stutter step in that direction, then cut up the middle. Beautifully designed play. First down and goal. Pryor, end zone, got a man, incomplete.
Pryor took a little bit too much time there. He took an extra hitch just to trust it, and because he took that extra hitch back in the pocket, he ended up throwing the football late and out of bounds. If he's able to avoid that, he had separation from Posey, and he had a touchdown pass.
Santenbacher. They lose. Back to the 19. It'll be 3rd down. Boyette, the defender. Number 20, the freshman from Napa, California.
Well, Oregon catches a break here because it took until the very last second for the defense to make the adjustment. There was 3-on-2. Ohio State had an advantage, but they do such a good job at getting off the blocks. See young Cliff Harris making a good job, and John Boyette's there to finish off the play.
Timeout has been called by Oregon, and coming up on the Nissan halftime report, Chris, Lee, Desmond, and Jesse will break down the first half, and we will hear from both marching bands here on this New Year's Day.
Brent, Ohio State in the red zone this year, only scoring touchdowns 54% of the time. That's 74th in the nation.
18th play of this Buckeye drive coming up. High, incomplete, and now they will send the field goal unit out onto the team. Out over the field, I should say.
Well, that's actually very, very good coverage that time by Javis Lewis, who's on Posey. And plenty of time, pretty good protection. You can see how Terrell Pryor is very uneasy when he has to step up into the middle of that offensive line. But Lewis, stride for stride, all over Posey that time to bat the ball away.
Devin Barkley, who has played in the Rose Bowl 3 times, but as a soccer player in the MLS, not as a football player. He will attempt this field goal, and from 30 yards, Barkley, who won the Iowa game with a dramatic 39-yarder, puts the Bucks back ahead in the Rose Bowl. He came here with Tampa Bay, the Rowdies, and his first ever assist in the MLS was on this field, and now he has kicked 1 extra point and a field goal. A reminder that right after the Rose Bowl on ABC, it's an all-new hour of comedy with Better Off Ted and Scrubs, followed by a bonus Better Off Ted. Bring in the new year with new laughs next, right after the game on ABC. Well, Herbie, what do we make of it so far? It's 13-10, a little bit lower scoring game than Oregon wants in this situation.
Yeah, and the game early was favoring Ohio State with the way their offense came out. The defense was playing very well, and Chip Kelly and the Ducks made some great adjustments. They got the momentum. They tied the game up. And now I look at this with a minute to go, about a minute 5 to go. 1 timeout. They're not known for their ability to throw the football, but do not count them out in being able to score.
Let me correct myself. I dated myself. They're no longer the Rowdies. They're the Mutiny.
Oh, thank goodness.
Barkley with the ball on the tee. Short kickoff. Fielded at the 24-yard line. Down at the 31's Harris. Ball came out. Scrum is going on. And they say he is down. You see the one official pointing quickly at the ground. Buckeyes claim they have the football. Well, they might at the bottom of the pile, but I think the one official is signaling that he was down.
Well, he got hit hard. Cliff Harris, the young true freshman.
The ruling on the field is the runner's knee was down with possession before the ball came loose. First down, Oregon.
Brian Roll looks like he's the first one down, the starting middle linebacker. Number 36 gets in, hits him high. Ball comes out, but his knee is down before, so Oregon catches a break there. It looked like his left hip actually was down. See what Masoli can do here with about a minute to go, a timeout left.
Trussell may have signaled that he wants him to take another look at it. He brought a couple of officials over to the sideline. But I think it was clear to the replay official upstairs.
Well, he just called a timeout from the bench.
Timeout, Ohio State. Third and final in the first half. 30-second timeout.
So he's giving the replay official more time to take a further look at him. And Herbie, you were pretty clear that you thought that it was down before the ball came out.
Yeah, it looked like his left hip as he was sliding touched, and then the football came out.
Herbie, I want to ask you about Buckeye mood and the fan base and everything. You know, for years, having won the national championship, but as of late, they have struggled in big game, BCS games that they have lost, championship games to Florida and LSU. What's the feeling? What's the mood of this Buckeye team?
Well, I think coming into this game, much like it was against USC in the regular season the last 2 years and against Texas last year's Fiesta Bowl, they're anxious to show that they can play in the big games and play with the great teams in college football.
Incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
I think the thing that is fascinating that people don't understand about Oregon is they have a chance with a top 12 finish this year to finish this decade with 5 top 12 finishes.
Masoli into Buckeye territory. So Masoli comes back to 2-A, and that's a 23-yard gain, and they've got inside of a minute to work with and 1 timeout. Stops the clock out of bounds as they work underneath.
Great job of getting out of bounds by James. And if you're not familiar with Jeremiah Masoli and this Oregon offense, and you hear a lot about their zone read and their option attack, he has a quick release, a strong arm. He's making good decisions this year by throwing the football. Make a little adjustment to the game clock, but he can get the ball downfield in a hurry with the strength of his arm. Ed Dickson and Jeff Mail, his 2 favorite targets.
38 seconds for Masoli through behind the receiver. He had a vertical runner open, and that was big Ed Dickson, who's been quiet so far.
Yeah, again, the seam routes is the way that Oregon really likes to try to exploit zone coverage. They send 2 guys that time right at Kirk Coleman to make him make a decision on Jeff Mayo or Ed Dickson.
Masoli deflected, intercepted at the 35-yard line by Homan. Homan stops the drive right there, and now it is the Bucks who have 25 seconds remaining.
And give Doug Worthington an assist there. The big defensive lineman, this time at 6'6", right in the middle of the defense, going up against Mark Asper. Gets his hand up, knocks the ball loose. And how about the instincts by Holman? His 5th interception on the year. And not only does he make the catch, but he shows his high school tailback days by getting upfield and picking up some valuable yardage.
Pryor with a deep drop. Waits, and throws it away. Sane was in the area. So it will be second down with 19 seconds remaining.
And that is the area where young Terrell Pryor is going to have to improve the most. When people elect not to pressure and just sit back with 8 guys in zone and make him read and decipher and recognize different coverages and make good decisions on time, that's the area that he needs, in my opinion, to improve the most.
Pryor comes back. Sanzenbacher, that's a first down. It'll stop it quickly. They're moving into field goal range. That's a 25-yard gain. And they will stop it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see with Petrie with a much stronger leg to see if they do eventually have this shot at a field goal, or if they are going to elect to still go with Barclay.
Well, you see Aaron Petrie over there on the sideline. Remember, he kicked their first extra point here today. He has a little bit of a longer range. His longest field goal is 52 yards. He's kicked 13, I should say 54. Let me correct myself. He's had a 52 this year, and he is 13 of 19. So with 10 seconds, they'd like one more play just a little bit closer. Pryor got to keep the clock in mind. He throws it away. 2 seconds remaining.
Well, Petrie's already out there and anxious to have his chance at this long field goal attempt. Ohio State doing just enough on offense, and the big pass by Terrell Pryor to Sanzenbacher got them in position to at least have this attempt.
Lisa was talking to Petrie down at practice earlier, and he reported to her that he had kicked a 63-yarder.
Well,
a little bit different, but he's got a big leg now.
Oh, huge leg.
Here we come. This is a 45-yarder for the Bucks following the interception.
Chip Kelly came in with a timeout.
Chip Kelly coached very successfully at New Hampshire. He has about 45 of his buddies from New England who are here. So yesterday he said, I'll give you a half hour from 5 to 5:30. Don't bother me. I'll see you after the game. What do they call themselves, his friends? Well, they're the New England Ducks, and they're here today rooting for the former great coach of the New Hampshire team.
He's very proud of those ties. You know, he's upset right now with the officials because he thought the previous play where Pryor just threw it away, that the ball didn't get across the line of scrimmage.
It has to hit something over there before.
That's what he was,
that's why Colt McCoy was so successful in the Big 12 championship. On its way. There's that big leg. Petrie. And the Bucks pick up 3 more as the result of Holman's interception. Coach Trussell is with Lisa.
Thank you, Brent. Coach, you started off the game with 6 consecutive passing plays, a lot less conservative than we've seen in the recent past. How come?
Well, we feel as if we have to be balanced, and Oregon's a good football team, and we're going to have to be at our best run and pass, and as you can see, this is going to be a heck of a game.
Terrell Pryor, 15 for 24, 149 yards in that first half. Also 31 yards rushing the ball. What does that do for his confidence, having so much success running and throwing?
Well, he knows that it's a long battle to go, so hopefully he'll keep making good decisions, and he can make some big plays with his arm and his feet.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Well, a reminder to stay tuned now for the Nissan halftime show from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Desmond Howard, Jesse Palmer. After this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Hi, it's Fitz with Slap Chop. You're going to be in a great mood all day because you're going to be slapping your troubles away with the Slap Chop. Now look, here's a potato. 1 slap, you got big chunks for stews. 2 slaps, home fries in a second. You add a mushroom, the more you do it, the finer it gets. You don't have to switch any blades. You love salad, you hate making it. Take the stringy celery, take the carrots, salad. I love pizza too, but once in a while, get the veggies in. At least throw it on top of the pizza. This tuna looks boring. Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life. Here's a hard-boiled egg. 1 chop, you add the pickle, you add the green onion. And then what you can do, you can mix things together. You add the ham. You don't have time to make breakfast. You're going to have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this. You can do everything in the cover. It's so easy. 1 finger. Kids can do it. They're going to charge you $1 for toppings at the ice cream stores. What about fruit? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful on your ice cream? It's so easy to clean. 1, 2. And pops open like that, like a butterfly to clean. Now, these other ones that you've seen in the store, you can't clean it. It doesn't open up. Bacteria gets in food. You don't want bacteria in your food, right, guys? Forget about that. Take this Slap Chop onion with the skin. All right, this is making you cry, you're making me cry. Life's hard enough as it is. You don't want to cry anymore. The skin's at the bottom. Hey, look, if you want a little bit of onions, you don't want to drag out the food processor, the skin comes right off. We're going to make America skinny again. 1 slap at a time. When you buy the Slap Chop, we're going to give you the grady for cheese. White cheese, yellow cheese in the container. Comes with a twister. And watch this, tacos, fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini. Comes with 2 blades, just bang it. Fine and coarse, Parmesan. Comes with a cover, stay sealed. Put it in the fridge, take it out when you need it. The Slap Chop sells for $19.95, and we're going to give you the grady absolutely free. But if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because you know we can't do this all day.
We'll double the offer. Just pay separate shipping and handling. So that's 2 sets for $19.95.
Here's how to order.
Call the number on your screen to take advantage of this amazing buy one, get one free Slap Chop offer. And when you do, ask about our folding cutting board. This is an amazing buy one, get one free deal. Don't miss out. Call the number on your screen. Call now.
Welcome to the Nissan Halftime Show.
Here at the Rose Bowl, first 10 points for the Bucks, the second 10 by the Ducks, and then a pair of Petrie field goals. It is 16-10 Ohio State. And now the Oregon Marching Band, directed by Dr. Eric Wiltshire. And welcome back, Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Jesse Palmer, and Desmond Howard. Guys, we talked about the quarterbacks. Clearly, Terrell Pryor outplaying Oregon's Jeremiah Masoli in this opening half. You go back to his last bowl game against Texas in the Fiesta Bowl a year ago. Pryor struggled as a passer, only completed a total of 5 passes. He had 5 completions in Ohio State's first drive. 149 yards passing at half is 3 off his average per game this season. But, Coach, he also had a couple of strategic, effective runs in the first half.
Yeah, he's very quick in his running. And he broke a tackle one time. He goes back here. Watch it. This is a 3rd down play. Breaks the tackle up the middle and goes for about 24 yards. He made one last quarter, in the first quarter or second quarter. He broke another tackle. And right here, he's right in front of me. He's faster than lightning, boy.
Yeah, Coach. I mean, plus he's strong. You see that stiff arm right there. The kid's 6'6", 235 pounds. You got to bring something to bring him down. But I've been more impressed with his passing game. They've been aggressive, but it's been controlled aggression. A lot of little dinks and dunks down the field, Jesse. If he's completed 15 passes, I would say at least 13 of them were really slant routes.
And Oregon has had a chance to get some production in the running game from 3 different runners, Michael James, Kenjon Barner, and LeGarrette Blunt. But Oregon has only run 26 plays in the first half. The best defense for Ohio State in this period has been their offense. They had a beautiful 19-play, 8-minute drive that kept all those playmakers on the sidelines. Oregon cannot win this game with Michael James, Jeremiah Masoli on the sideline.
Also, Terrell Pryor has not had a turnover.
No, he has.
The key.
And Masoli did have the interception that set up the final thing. Oregon's going to get the ball to start this second half. We'll see if they can maintain some possession. Only 1 play of 20-plus yards, and big plays are what they are all about. Coming up at halftime, tell you what's going on around the country on this New Year's Day. Again, Ohio State, 16-10 over the Ducks at halftime.
Millions of people around the world depend on Toyota trucks to get them there and back again under grueling conditions. Everything we've learned out there has gone in here. The all-new 2010 Toyota 4Runner sure has learned a lot. Now it's stronger, safer, smarter.
There's having it done. Then there's doing it yourself and saving. You just need to roll up your sleeves and take your ideas to the Home Depot. You'll find the right tools and the right know-how. And since we've lowered the prices on hundreds of items you need most, you can also get more done. We're giving you everything you need to get the bragging rights you deserve. More saving, more doing at the Home Depot.
Being busy with 4 kids, I always found excuses to not necessarily get to the gym.
So when EA Sports Active came out, I was excited. I felt like I could finally have something to be accountable to.
I was exercising and I was sweating within 10 minutes. I felt myself getting stronger.
I've tried other programs. Now they're all collecting dust. The EA Sports Active just inspired me. It was the gateway to a whole new healthy lifestyle.
EA Sports Active keeps you motivated with fun and effective workouts on the Wii. Now stay active with more workouts. Rated E for everyone.
Are you ready for the big one?
License to Drill, a new series, begins Tuesday, only on Discovery Channel.
Buckeyes took the lead, a touchdown pass from Terrell Pryor to Brandon Sain as we continue on the Nissan halftime report. He sat in the first half. Ohio State, yards after the catch, 72. Oregon, yards after the catch, 1. It is 16-10, Ohio State. In the Gator Bowl today, the farewell for Bobby Bowden as the Seminoles took on West Virginia, his former school, and the Noles got great offensive balance. They outplayed the Mountaineers to send Bowden out a winner. Big game by Jermaine Thomas, a 19-yard scamper, and the Noles Make it 7-6 in the season, 33-21. Nice exchange with the coaches there. Bowden meeting some of his former players in the sidelines, and he goes out a winner with 389 career victories. Your alma mater, Lee, a bittersweet day for you.
There's one thing about this. Very few coaches can say that they made a football program. Very few. Bobby Bowden is the reason why Florida State's got a great football program. Enough said. He's made Florida State.
Well, congratulations to Bobby Bowden going out the right way. But I'd love to give some love to Mickey Andrews, one of the great defensive coordinators in the history of college football. His defense all season long, the subject of so much criticism, but the players bind together. They find a way to get it done against a very explosive West Virginia offense. Congratulations to Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews going out with a win. The game's going to miss you both.
No doubt about that. I was really impressed with Florida State. They really rose to the occasion today. You know, all of us, we're big fans of Bobby Bowden, what he's meant not only to Florida State, but to college football as a whole. When I first took this job, he was the first coach that I interviewed, and he couldn't have been nicer. So it was great to see him get his 24th bowl victory. Congratulations, Bobby Bowden.
Glorious career, and Jimbo Fisher moving forward. Some good news on the recruiting trail, so things looking up for Florida State. The Outback Bowl, Penn State, another legend, Joe Paterno getting bowl win number 24 on a sloppy, rainy day there in Florida. Muddy field. It was all about defense and field goals. Darrell Clark would find Derek Moy. Lions took an early lead, but after that it was all Colin Wagner. The kicker had a troubled season, but 4 for 4, all of them inside 30. The game winner in the final minute, and Penn State 19-17. Darrell Clark wins his final game as a Lion. Wild game in the Outback Bowl. This game, you know, fake field goal. Northwestern trying for the win here in overtime, down 3. Auburn makes the tackle. Nikos Dimos, the regular kicker, had missed 3 field goals and an extra point. Then he got injured. They tried to trick the Tigers. It did not work. Northwestern still just one bowl win in history, and Gene Chizik survives 38-35. The second half coming up from Pasadena, 16-10. Bucks over the Ducks.
Hello, Canada. We'll get you back to the Rose Bowl in just a moment. A reminder, the next edition of SportsCenter comes your way at midnight Eastern. Here's what's making news on this New Year's Day. Winter Classic, Fenway Park in overtime. Canadian Olympian Patrice Bergeron feeds Marco Sturm, tips in the game winner. Bruins come back, make the final 2-1. Now, after the game, the American Olympic hockey team was unveiled. Maple Leafs teammates Phil Kessel and Mike Kamasarik named to the team, as was Bruins goaltender Tim Thomas. You can see the entire roster at ctvolympics.ca. Denver Broncos coach Josh McDaniels says he is benching Pro Bowl receiver Brandon Marshall for the team's game against Kansas City. Apparently, Marshall doesn't want to play. The coach thinks he could, and it is a must-win for Denver, who also need some help. And the New York Post is reporting that Gilbert Arenas of the Washington Wizards pulled a gun on his teammate New Year's Eve.
Hello, I'm Ryan Cools.
And I'm Eric Dane with ABC's Grey's Anatomy.
Wounded Warrior Project provides programs and services for wounded service members like us during our recovery and rehabilitation. Our vision is to make this generation of wounded service members the most well-adjusted and successful in our nation's history.
It's my belief that all Americans have a duty to give back to those who've sacrificed so much for their country. I want to thank Citi, ESPN, and the Tournament of Roses for inviting us here today, and we encourage you to get involved. Visit www.woundedwarriorproject.org.
And now the pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State Marching Band, under the direction of Dr. John R. Woods. one of the best bands in college football. And we'll return for the second half after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
My name is Owen, and this is my Grand Caravan. This is so Mom and Dad don't get lost. And we can't even go far without stopping. Yes! Slam dunk! Cool, huh? Yes! Dad said it's cool, too. I never heard it say it to Mom.
The 2010 Dodge Grand Caravan, Canada's favorite minivan.
So what's the problem? It's your blades, eh?
Oh, man, I should have known.
Even the best blades get worn down. When that happens, it's not as comfortable, see? When the strip turns white, you should think about changing it for a smoother ride.
Gillette Fusion. Fresh blade, more comfortable shave.
Written by a Canadian and voted on by you, the new Hockey Canada cheer has landed in Saskatchewan. Be one of the first million to sign up for Cheer Nation and get your name displayed in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Learn the cheer. Support Hockey Canada. Sign up at Pepsi.ca or text cheer to 12345.
New bourbon Whopper. Bourbon sauce. Sweet, tangy. Observe how to taste the awesome. Remove wraparound shakes. Respect the crispy onion ring. Inhale the bacony deliciousness. Take bite. Bonus step. Immortalize. New bourbon Whopper. Taste the awesome. Only at Burger King.
Women's Hockey, Canada, USA, tonight on TSN2.
Come on, people! Make some
For coaches, the game starts long before the puck drops. They know what their players need during the game and before. And with a range of quick, nourishing ways to feed active families, Chunky Soups support the vital role of nutrition and coaching in our communities. To nominate a coach who makes a difference, go to ChunkyMVC.ca. The Chunky Most Valuable Coach will win $25,000 in prizing for their athletes and community. Campbell's Chunky. TSN and TSN2 double bill. From Philly and Orlando. Wednesday, the NHL on TSN. Leafs, Flyers at 7. And NBA on TSN2. Raps and Magic at 7. Show your support for Team Canada at the World Juniors by joining the TSN fan page on Facebook. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TSN.
Brett Musburger with Kirk Herbstreit and Lisa Salters welcome you back to the second half of the 96 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. The Ohio State Buckeyes lead the Oregon Ducks 16-10. And Herbie, let's take a look now at our coaching adjustments brought to you by Home Depot.
Well, Oregon has decided coming into this football game that they're going to crowd the line of scrimmage to try to negate Pryor's scrambling and his running ability along with his back. Well, it leaves the receivers one-on-one in coverage. So Pryor's had already 24 pass attempts in the first half. Here's a great example in the first half of him coming off of his primary receiver, buying a little bit of time with a scramble, and then eventually Boom Herring gets separation from Eddie Pleasant, the outside linebacker, and it gives Pryor a chance to be effective throwing the football. But 24 attempts in the first half when he's only had 17 attempts per game in the last 3 games.
Here's a shocking stat. The Buckeyes had the football for 22 of the first 30 minutes of this football game. Ducks did not count on that.
No, they did not count on that. And Chip Kelly would tell you, hey, we're very confident that we can score in a hurry, but Jim Tressel knows one of the best ways to stop Jeremiah Masoli is for Terrell Pryor and his offense to be able to maintain possession, to keep Masoli on the sideline where he can't do so much damage.
Well, we shall find out right away because the Ducks get the ball first here in the second half. They won the toss and elected to defer, so it will be Oregon football. Devin Barkley will kick it away here for the Buckeyes. The crowd settling back in after the intermission and the bands. Fielded on the 7-yard line by Barner. Barner got a gap. Barner explodes, and he is out to the 46-yard line. Let's check in with Lisa.
Well, Brenda, just talking to Chip Kelly, he said, hey, our mission is simple. Terrell Pryor is the guy who's going to beat us. We've got to contain him. He said, but we do have him figured out. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, we know what he's going to do. Our guys are getting to him. And then he laughed. He said, we just got to tackle him. He's a big son of a gun. Guys?
That 39-yard return gives his offense.
That's right.
Good field position here to open the second half. James bounces. Crosses midfield before Russell wrestles him down.
That looks more like the LaMichael James that we saw all season in the Pac-10. Brent, that's what you talked about, the time of possession. The way Ohio State's been able to hold on to the football and try to keep Masoli off to the sideline.
Come now the other side. And the Buckeyes jump on it. Hines was in on that play, along with Gibson, who made the initial stop on the running back.
But you're going to see Doug Worthington as well really work hard, and that's something that the defensive line has to do. It's one thing to try to get penetration against this offense, but also when they go to the outside, you got to push your blocker to the sideline.
Down the near sideline, one-on-one penalty. That'll go against the Buckeyes. Chekwa. Chekwa was defending Mail, and the flag came.
Pass interference on a defense number 5. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
There is not face guarding in college football, but as a defender, if you do not turn your head and try to locate the football, they are going to call pass interference every single time on you. So it's not necessarily about how much contact he made or he didn't make. Anytime an official doesn't see that head turning back and you attempting to get to the football, they're going to call it.
Masoli has to throw this away because Jermail Hines was all over him. They brought a blitz. Jimmy Haycock is calling a sensational game defensively for the Buckeyes.
Well, we've talked a lot about Jim Tressel being aggressive on the offensive side, but Brent, we're also seeing it from Jim Haycock and Luke Fickell dialing up blitzes. And again, they're trying to mix up the looks to try to slow down Masoli.
Hands it off straight ahead. This will be 3rd down and long. And this is the situation that Haycock's defense wants over and over and over again. A veteran coach.
Might be Brent Jordan Holmes there. The center looked like he was struggling to...
That's a big loss.
It is.
The anchor.
He's the leader up front.
Max Four, a junior from close by in Santa Monica, due to come in for Holmes. Let us take a break and let us hope that Jordan Holmes will be able to return to action soon. We'll be right back.
What's that?
That's last night's dinner. Hate lingering odors? Febreze Air Effects actually eliminates odors caused by bacteria and leaves a light, fresh scent. Febreze, it's a breath of fresh air. 'Cause 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 'cause
Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the all-new Ram Heavy Duty. With a legendary 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel, an all-new refined interior. It gives brains more to think with. It gives muscles more to work with. It gives trophy shelves more to deal with. Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram.
Some people like comedies, others drama. I like the weather report.
Slight chance of rain.
So when I was driving my son Tim to hockey last week, I knew that there was only a 5% chance of flurries coming in from the west. Well, they were wrong. So I went to Canadian Tire and bought a pair of Armor All Edge silicone wiper blades. The silicone forms a water-repellent barrier that lasts as long as the wipers do. No streaks. Now the forecast is always clear. At least on my windshield.
Armor All Edge silicone wiper blades. Only at Canadian Tire.
Being busy with 4 kids, I always found excuses to not necessarily get to the gym.
So when EA Sports Active came out, I was excited. I felt like I could finally have something to be accountable to.
I was exercising and I was sweating within 10 minutes. I felt myself getting stronger.
I've tried other programs. Now they're all collecting dust. The EA Sports Active just inspired me. It was the gateway to a whole new healthy lifestyle.
EA Sports Active keeps you motivated with fun and effective workouts on the Wii. Now stay active with more workouts. Rated E for everyone.
Football in High Definition is presented by Vizio.
When you look down from a blimp shot and you don't see any cars moving to the parking lot, you know you've got a dandy unfolding on the field. We've got a 6-point game, big third down, and 8 yards, and the Ducks are 0 for 5 on third.
Brent, we were just talking at the break. You might be saying, why on third down are they running the football? It's because Chip Kelly, with a field goal kicker, Morgan Flint, has a long of 43 this year. He's thinking about this is 4-down territory. So on third down, let's get as close as we can to try to set up a conversion here on 4th down.
Empty backfield. Masoli throws for the first down. They're to the red zone. And that's the second catch of the day for Tuinei.
And this is a great call here by Chip Kelly, getting the ball out to the left flat. Ohio State in man coverage. Nobody left there to pick up Tuinei. The defenders went to the inside. A good read by Masoli to throw the ball to the outside.
There is James and nothing doing. Bucks were ready. Holman leading the charge. He intercepted a pass late in the first half, which led to the final Ohio State field goal.
Oregon with this hurry-up offense.
On second down, pump fake. Now he's got to come to the side. That was dangerous because it was red off the pump by Hines, who was stepping in to the flat. Dixon, the intended receiver.
Well, I think Jeremiah Masoli and Jeff Mayo might have miscommunicated there, because I think Masoli recognized that Ohio State had the play very well defended, and he wanted to give it a pump fake and try to get the ball downfield to Jeff Mayo, who was actually blocking downfield.
Varner had a big 37-yard play earlier. He motions out. He'll be the receiver. From the 21, he's got the first and goal to the 6-yard line. So Kenyon Varner, the freshman from Riverside, California, delivers again.
And a great block by Carson York, the left guard. He gets just enough of Ross Holman to give the back this time, Varner, enough room to accelerate upfield. Nice block that time, Carson York.
So they convert a 4th down and now a 3rd down. So it'll be 2nd down from the 4. Varner stays on the field. Holman with the stop.
Well, this defensive line doing a very good job of getting penetration consistently in the backfield to try to slow down Masoli, and he's doing a good job of being able to offset that with the speed.
Touchdown, Oregon. Barner. No, hold on. The line judge says he was down at the 1. Line judge had a perfect view of it down the line. I'm sure they'll take a second look at it, and LeGarrette Blount quickly checks in. And here is the hammer. Masoli keeps it. Masoli for the score.
Brent, me and you and the Ohio State defense thought, as you said, the hammer had the football, because the tendency is when Jeremiah Masoli has LeGarrette Blount in the backfield inside the 5-yard line, the big guy has it, right? No, Ohio State thought so. Masoli keeps it and gets through Brian Roll and into the end zone.
Morgan Flint. And the Ducks lead for the first time today in this Rose Bowl. Jeremiah Masoli. They convert a 4th down. They convert a 3rd down. And then Masoli takes it in for 6.
Something's been happening at Ford.
You're seeing quality like never before. Some of the best vehicles.
The best vehicles. The new Fusion.
Edge. Some of the highest quality in the world. Ford quality is equal
to Honda and Toyota. If they can't beat Ford, Ford must be hard to beat. More all-new designs.
New Taurus.
Flex. You haven't seen this lineup.
You haven't seen Ford. You don't have to wait. They're here now.
This could be the best car I've ever driven.
This is Ford today. Drive one.
There's having it done. Then there's doing it yourself and saving. You just need to roll up your sleeves and take your ideas to the Home Depot. You'll find the right tools and the right know-how. And since we've lowered the prices on hundreds of items you need most, you can also get more done. We're giving you everything you need to get the bragging rights you deserve. More saving, more doing at the Home Depot.
When the eyes of the world are on us to witness a moment of triumph, it's a moment that we'll share when our athletes tell their story to the world. The Vancouver 2010 Olympic Winter Games are coming to TSN. Brought to you by Bell.
There is this year's queen. As you look inside the tournament house, located right here in Pasadena. Freeway rather quiet. You see the proximity of the Rose Bowl. Sun starting to set. Almost 4:30 here along the Pacific coast. 1-point game. Kicks it away. Buckeyes first possession of the second half. And Herron. And there's a penalty flag at the 41-yard line.
During the return, holding number 16 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Brett, going back to that touchdown, and I think we all thought again that the big guy would get it. The read is right here. And Jeremiah Masoli is simply going to watch Cameron Hayward. If Hayward comes down and takes the big back Blount away, which he does, he pulls the football out. So again, not predetermined. He's just reading Hayward's body language. He came down on Blount, pulled the ball out, and then again shows how physical he can be running over top of Brian Roll.
running play was Sane to the 24-yard line, picking up 4 on first down.
Jim Tressel telling Lisa Salters as he came off the field before the half, Lisa said, you know, why are we seeing Terrell Pryor throw 24 times? And his answer was, well, we need balance against this Oregon defense. Because they're crowding the line, we have to mix some things up. And how about this for balance? They have 49 plays, 24 runs, and 25 passes.
Viper screen. Sanzenbacher's got the first down for the Buckeyes.
You get the football out fast like that, you've got to rely on the receivers to be able to stalk block. And Corian Washington that time, along with DeVere Posey, a good job of holding on and maintaining their blocks. And that time, Sanzenbacher, who has tremendous quickness, gets upfield for that first down.
Pick up a yard on a running play. And right now, let's check in with Chris Fowler.
Thanks, Brett. Let's take a look now at Nebraska's standout Ndamukong Suh, who's one of the nominees for the AT&T Player of the Year. To vote for any of the 4 finalists, text VOTE 345-345 from your mobile phone. You can win a trip to next year's national championship.
4 outstanding players. Be hard to pick one, wouldn't it? Second down and 8. Play fake by Pryor, rolls to the left. Throws down to Posey, got it! At the 29-yard line, DeVere Posey.
Let's take a look at the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. A great throw, and Terrell Pryor in rhythm. Rolling out to his left, he gathers himself, and he throws his football before DeVere Posey has a chance to even make his break to the sideline. Put the ball right in position, well-timed, and a great throw. You can see the chemistry that time between Pryor and DeVere Posey.
36 yards. Pryor rolls the other way, and now he's red hot. Sanzenbacher at the 25, blasted out of bounds by Harris.
Well, the young freshman came up and made a play here, even though he gave up some yards. Letting Sanzenbacher know about it.
Terrell Pryor has thrown for 198 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. And he has been feeling it, rolling to the left and now coming back to the right on the move. Sane tries to get the first down, and he's pushed out of bounds very close to it. It'll be a 3rd down and very short.
Time the young freshman fullback Zach Boren trying to lead the way, getting kind of physical and a bit chippy. It's been a little chippy the entire game when Oregon's defense and the Ohio State offense have been going back and forth.
Comes Sane for the first down. Casey Matthews, number 55, is in there in that stop. What a familiar name to you Rose Bowl fans. This is the 5th straight Rose Bowl that a member of the Matthews family has played. That's right. Kyle and Clay for USC. Today, Casey with the Ducks. Of course, his father was a great player at USC, and he only played 19 years in the NFL. Then his uncle, Bruce, he also played in the Bulls. So how about this family connection? The family Matthews and the Rose Bowl. First down and 10. Read option, and the Ducks read it better than the Bucks.
Well, they see that every day in practice. They're gonna read that in a hurry. Anytime you go up against your own offense in spring ball and at two-a-days, you're pretty familiar with another offense that has the audacity to run some form of the zone read. And Terrell Pryor's in no man's land. He wanted to pull the ball out, and Brandon Sane wanted to take it, and eventually he just had to let go before there was possibly a fumble.
Second down and long. Pryor, Sanzenbacher holds on. ripped at the 13, incomplete.
Sean Boyette does a good job, and all-out blitz by Oregon. Ohio State picks up, but there's one extra man that they can't account for. Pryor has to account for him by getting rid of the football. Boyette goes low, and Sazenbacher lucky to get up from that hit. It's about the only thing Boyette could do is have heavy contact to try to separate Sazenbacher from the football.
What a great hit. Third and 13. Pryor fires behind the receiver. Misread. Sazenbacher cutting to the post, and Pryor threw behind him.
They had what they wanted, one-on-one matchup, and Pryor trying to get the ball out early. I think you could tell by the throw was anticipating Sazenbacher maybe staying up closer to the middle of the field. But Dane must have seen the coverage that he had to break it off a little bit early.
The Bucks have 3 field goals today. Here's Devin Barkley attempting to make their 4th and regain the lead. It's a 38-yarder. And Ohio State regains the lead. 19-17, 6.5 minutes left. 3rd quarter of the Dandy Rose Bowl.
They're training their minds. They're training their bodies. They're honing their skills. They're getting ready for the ultimate trip to Super Bowl 44. Are you?
Rule number 72, live large. Want to be on the Bud plane to Super Bowl 44? Visit Budweiser.ca for details. Must be 21 or older, no purchase necessary.
This could be the year you meet that perfect someone. The year you talk about for the rest of your life. Announcing the New Year's free communication event from eHarmony.
eHarmony matched Heidi and myself up. My first thought was, wow. I wanted to get that next email. I wanted to get that next communication. It was so exciting.
Just fill out the eHarmony questionnaire. Find out who we match you up with, and you can communicate with them for free. The New Year's free communication event. There's still time left. Start your year off right. Visit eHarmony today and communicate with your matches absolutely free.
You'll do almost anything to get over a cold. But when chest congestion caused by mucus is making your bad cold even worse, you want all the symptom relief of new Tylenol Cold Plus Mucus Relief to get you back to normal. The trusted relief of Tylenol Cold Plus Mucus Relief in a fast-acting liquid gel. New Tylenol Cold Plus Mucus Relief. Get back to normal, whatever your normal is.
Well, we welcome you back to the 96th Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. The Big Ten and the Pac-10. 1917 right now. The Big Ten champion leads with an attendance of 93,963. Both these schools turned out, and tickets were at a premium for this Rose Bowl. Barkley. Corner back at the 2-yard line. Slips, and he's had 2 outstanding returns here in the second half. Thursday night, we know where all of you will be. In front of the television, 8 Eastern, the Citi BCS National Championship. Alabama against Texas, and a little bit of a Heisman jinx there, Herbie.
You can see that Matt Leinart in 04 against Oklahoma, the only Heisman winner to be able to go on and compete well in a national championship. And now Mark Ingram gets the torch handed to him.
That was a 36-yard return. And the young man, remember, he had a 100-yarder for a touchdown on the same field against UCLA. He's delivering again. James, number 21, is the running back. Varner overall has had a huge day. He's rushed for 55 yards and James for only 40. Offensively, the Buckeyes have 280 yards and the Ducks 172. And battling, coming free is James. appeared to be stopped, broke free before Russell gets him out of bounds.
Well, this is the matchup that we wanted to see today. One of the best backs in the country against one of the best safeties in the country. And right there, Kurt Coleman has to make that play close to the line of scrimmage. And that gives you an idea. You look at LaMichael James, 5'9", 180 pounds. He's not just elusive and quick. He has tremendous power as he ran right through Kurt Coleman.
End route. And they pick up another 8. Varner. That's the second time he's been successful coming off the edge with that play. And we've got an injured Buckeye Hines down on the field.
It looks like one of the trainers yelled wind, meaning he got the wind knocked out of him. LaMichael James has been doing this all year long. One of the most explosive backs, known for his big playability in this offense. But the thing that I think has impressed us all year is how he can run through tackles. I love how they continue to attack the perimeter and then go back into the inside, making it tough on Ohio State to build up, get an idea of what's coming.
Fumble, loose ball, and it's a free ball. And it'll go out of bounds on the sideline as Blunt was the running back that time, and that'll come out on the 20.
Ohio State will take over at the 20-yard line, and I don't think LeGarrette Blunt, Brent, ever had a handle on the ball. We keep talking about how they're attacking with the reverse. They keep going to the edge of the defense. Well, they faked it this time, and LeGarrette Blunt ended up kicking the football as it came out of his hands, and when it goes out of the end zone, it's the defense's ball at the 20. Watch the football. Does he ever? No, it never got in there, and then his left foot kicked the football. It's a scramble, but it goes out of the end zone. This is an offense that, as good as they've been this year, they've been prone to mistakes. They've fumbled this year 26 times coming in and lost 15 fumbles. That's among the worst in the college football.
So the Buckeyes have the ball coming out from their own 20. And Pryor rolls right, fires a strike, Posey. 12 yards.
That's a big call on 1st and 10. After a big turnover, trying to get Terrell Pryor to continue to just play within himself. 1st and 10 play action pass is something that Jim Tressel's going a lot to tonight.
Harvey, we are watching one thing. The confidence in Pryor is growing with Jim Tressel's play calling. You can see that evolving here. He's got confidence the way the young man is playing, and there are flags on this before the play starts.
You can go back to the development and maturity of Troy Smith, and you could see the same thing in 2004, and then eventually when he burst onto the scene in 05 and 06.
Offside on a defense, number 50. Jumped in the neutral zone, caused the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty. First down.
But you make a great point that Jim Tressel's play calling and confidence that he has in his quarterback has as much to do with Terrell Pryor playing up to the lofty expectations as anything. Last 3 games in the regular season, 17 attempts. It's hard to make plays.
Sometimes it's easy to forget that he's a true sophomore. Still a baby. First down and 5. And that was stopped before the handoff to Heron. That's a false start.
False start on the offense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Somebody who knows Terrell Pryor as well as anybody from his high school days is the head coach at Oregon, Chip Kelly. Kelly telling us the other day that he visited Pryor every week during his basketball season of his senior year, just trying to get him to make a trip to Eugene. And he so admires the young man for staying with his high school basketball team and never, ever making that trip. So now he's playing against the young man he tried so hard to recruit. Here's Pryor trying to slip a tackle. And it was not easy bringing him down. Kenny Rowe had his hands full, but he got the job done.
Well, Kenny Rowe's having a great football game tonight. The hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker, the top of your screen. He comes off of Jake Ballard. And again, we keep talking about it. Pryor's 6'6", 235 pounds, and very quick and very athletic. And you can see Kenny Rowe at 6'3", 232, never giving up. It's the second time tonight he's been able to bring down Terrell Pryor because of his attitude and relentless effort.
Backfield's empty. 2nd and 15 for Pryor. He takes off on a design run, sheds a would-be tackler, and gets back to the 35. It'll be 3rd and manageable. Pryor has to be a little bit careful when he starts barking.
T.J. Ward, who's the intimidator of the Oregon defense, he's kind of the emotional spark plug. He's coming in there to try to get a piece. In fact, he's the first one to get a piece of Terrell Pryor, and he lets him know about it after he makes the hit right there, 2 against 2. And Pryor rolls into the legs there, the Oregon staff.
Wasn't he close to being out of bounds?
Very pretty.
When he hit him?
We call that a gray area.
I got you. 3rd and 8. Pryor's got a man open, and he throws an interception. He had Heron wide open, and he threw to the deep man, and Boyette picks it off. So Boyette with 2 huge plays, a jarring tackle on Sanzenbacher, and now the interception.
Brent, I want you to watch DeVere Posey, and here's Boyette. Watch what Posey does in breaking away from the coverage. He's working in man-to-man. Right there, he makes an adjustment. Pryor sees him, but he doesn't see the safety, so he just flips it over the top, not recognizing the safety in coverage, and Boyette steps up.
We'll take a timeout. Bucks lead it 19-17.
Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the all-new Ram Heavy Duty. With a legendary 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel, an all-new refined interior. It gives brains more to think with. It gives muscles more to work with. It gives trophy shelves more to deal with. Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram.
This could be the year you meet that perfect someone. The year you talk about for the rest of your life. Announcing the New Year's free communication event from eHarmony.
eHarmony matched tidying myself up. My first thought was, wow. I wanted to get that next email. I wanted to get that next communication. It was so exciting.
Just fill out the eHarmony questionnaire. Find out who we match you up with, and you can communicate with them for free. The New Year's free communication event this Wednesday through Sunday. Start your year off right. Visit eHarmony today and communicate with your matches absolutely free.
So what's the problem?
It's your blades, eh?
Oh, man, I should have known.
Even the best blades get worn down. When that happens, it's not as comfortable, see? When the strip turns white, you should think about changing it for a smoother ride.
Gillette Fusion. Fresh blade, more comfortable shave.
Oregon running back LaMichael James going back to the locker room just moments ago. Trainers were working on his left shoulder while the Oregon offense was over on the sideline. He ran off the field and directly into the x-ray room. Guys, I'll have an update for you as soon as I get it.
All right, well, they go with Blunt as a replacement. Remember, he had just fumbled the ball in that previous series. And Varner, of course, who has been a spark plug, is now coming onto the field, and he will be the Ducks running back. 2nd down and 7. And that is stopped before Masoli can take off. Against the Oregon offense.
Start on the offense. Number 54. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And that's the center. And Holmes back on the field. And it's a false start.
We should mention, with Varner coming in, you talked about what a great night he's had. His reputation as a kickoff return man, but also a very effective back with the same kind of speed, a former defensive back.
They motion Varner out of the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Gets it off. Screen on the side. The first reception for DJ Davis, the junior from Denver.
The big thing, again, about being able to pick up yards when you get the ball out like that is being able to get perimeter blocking from the wide receivers. Ohio State, led by Jermel Hines that time, fighting through the blocks and being able to push Davis out of bounds.
Backfield is empty. Fake to the flank, going to come deep down the middle, and it is incomplete. So the safety, Anderson Russell, was not fooled by that pump fake to the flat.
Trying to just get the safety to fight up just a little bit, but two things there. Great job by Kurt Coleman sitting back in coverage, and because he's there, it forces Masoli to throw the ball more over the middle of the field, where Anderson Russell is sitting there, making it easy for him to come over and be a factor on that pass.
Jackson Rice back to punt. Posey fumbles it. Down at the 10-yard line. And remember, they are without suspended Ray Small. And that's where they have been hurt a couple of times here tonight. And a reminder that after the Rose Bowl on ABC, an all-new hour of with Better Off Ted and Scrubs, followed by a bonus Better Off Ted. So ring in the new year with new laughs next after the game on ABC.
Pryor 19-31 as he trots out onto the field here with about a little over a minute to go in the third quarter.
Touchdown pass came on the first drive of the game for the Buckeyes as they opened up with a touchdown. Interception came on that last drive. Now they settle in with Sane on the power running game. T.J. Ward, if you haven't watched him, number 2, just an outstanding, hard-hitting safety. For the Ducks, that's the young man without the helmet. Now he's ready.
From the great high school program, De La Salle, Northern California.
You bet.
Constantly churning out great Division I football players. And as we said earlier, he's kind of the emotional spark plug, the intimidator of the Ducks defense.
Sane again.
This offense, these first two plays of this series, is the way Ohio State has really played for an entire game down the stretch of the season. And I think that's when fans and Terrell Pryor and others got a little bit impatient. They wanted to see more of Pryor doing his thing, and that's what we've seen tonight.
Going to the fourth quarter, and as you look at that scoreboard, this is a Buckeye kind of game. Keep in mind that in their last 6 games coming down the stretch of the Pac-10, there were more than 60 points scored in each of Oregon's games. The Buckeyes of Ohio State, they haven't been in a 60-point game all season, and it doesn't look like they're going to be in one here tonight. In fact, Navy scored the most points against the Bucks this year, 27. This presentation of the Rose Bowl game presented by City returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Hello, Canada. We'll get you back to the Rose Bowl fourth quarter in just a minute. A reminder, next edition of SportsCenter comes your way at midnight Eastern. Busy football, New Year's Day, of course. And this is West Virginia, Florida State Gator Bowl. Late third, Jermaine Thomas runs it in, 19 yards out, opens a 2-score lead. FSU wins it, makes the final 33-21 in Bobby Bowden's final game. The Outback Bowl on TSN2 in overtime. Stefan Demos misses a game-tying kick, but watch. He's injured on a roughing the kicker penalty that extends the game. Now it's 4th and goal with no kicker. Northwestern goes for it, but the play comes up short. Auburn wins a thriller, 38-35. And don't forget, when the Rose Bowl is over, it all continues here on TSN. Tim Tebow leads Florida into action against Cincinnati. It's some sugar for you. The Sugar Bowl at 8:30 Eastern on Canada Sports Leader, TSN.
training their minds. They're training their bodies. They're honing their skills. They're getting ready for the ultimate trip to Super Bowl 44. Are you?
Rule number 72, live large. Want to be on the Bud plane to Super Bowl 44? Visit Budweiser.ca for details. Must be 21 or older, no purchase necessary.
For coaches, the game starts long before the puck drops. They know what their players need during the game and before. And with a range of quick, nourishing ways to feed active families, Chunky Soups support the vital role of nutrition and coaching in our communities. To nominate a coach who makes a difference, go to ChunkyMVC.ca. The Chunky Most Valuable Coach will win $25,000 in prizing for their athletes and community. Campbell's Chunky.
Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the all-new Ram Heavy Duty. With a legendary 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel, an all-new refined interior. It gives brains more to think with. It gives muscles more to work with. It gives trophy shelves more to deal with. Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram.
Raps, Celtics, tip off the new year. Tomorrow on TSN2.
That sun is still shining brightly over in Hawaii as it sets here over the Pacific.
You grow up in the Midwest and you watch the Rose Bowl. This game used to look like Disneyland.
That is
bright
the truth.
colors. It gets dark when it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Third down and 3. Pryor. Bucks forced a punt. Sanzabaka. And he was well defended by the freshman from Fresno, Cliff Harris, who's got tremendous upside.
Yes, sir. Oregon brings pressure again. They've been consistent all game long, trying to get into the face. They feel Pryor gets a little bit antsy. The throw's actually pretty good, but the coverage by the true freshman, sensational by Cliff Harris.
Big moment for Barner. He's set to return this punt. Standing there at the Ducks 43. Masoli can get great field position. Fair catch. Out of bounds. And it will be spotted at the 32. That's a very good punt by John Toma. We've got a timeout.
Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the all-new Ram Heavy Duty. With a legendary 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel, an all-new refined interior. It gives brains more to think with. It gives muscles more to work with. It gives trophy shelves more to deal with. Introducing the 2010 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram.
What's that?
That's last night's dinner.
Hate lingering odors? Febreze Air Effects actually eliminates odors caused by bacteria and leaves a light, fresh scent. Febreze, it's a breath of fresh air.
This could be the year you meet that perfect someone. The year you talk about for the rest of your life. Announcing the New Year's free communication event from eHarmony.
eHarmony matched tidying myself up. My first thought was, wow. I wanted to get that next email. I wanted to get that next communication. It was so exciting.
Just fill out the eHarmony questionnaire. Find out who we match you up with, and you can communicate with them for free. The New Year's free communication event. There's still time left. Start your year off right. Visit eHarmony today and communicate with your matches absolutely free.
Grey Goose, world's best tasting vodka.
All year long, the DirecTV bus has been driving to the national championship, and now it has arrived in Pasadena. And, of course, next Thursday night, it'll be Alabama and Texas as we now take a look at this view from our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. LeGarrette Blunt and Masoli, the trigger man.
Brent, such a different look when the big fella gets back into this offense. Used to seeing him inside the 5-yard line, but he can do some damage. When he gets the chance to build up momentum and run downhill, he'll run right through a safety.
He's got his chance, and he bulls his way for the first down. Takes on a linebacker that time, Herbie Holman.
Well, you lose a little bit of quickness and deception and speed when James or Barner check out, but obviously you pick up the power. And you can see that Ohio State's defense, the big question, how would they hold up against this offense?
Masoli. Out of bounds, shy of midfield.
Masoli, the one thing about him that you really have to appreciate all year, when the games have been on the line in conference play, he's kept his cool, composure, and made great decisions.
And that's Brian Roll, and the Buckeyes can't afford to be without him for a long time.
No. He's done such a great job of filling the large shoes of James Laurinaitis, who left last year after a great career for the Buckeyes, off to the NFL, and the St. Louis Rams. Roll stepped up along with Ross Holman to replace Marcus Freeman. Both young men play with quite a chip on their shoulder.
Second down and 6. The read option, Barner to midfield, and that is short. They've got a third down coming up.
You know, Cameron Hayward, 97, gets most of the attention up front, but Doug Worthington, who's coming off the field right now, he has had a great game up front for this Ohio State defensive line. It seems like every time you look up, if somebody's getting upfield and making a play, it's the senior, number 84, Doug Worthington.
Masoli incomplete. Fourth down, and the punting team comes off the sideline.
Well, they were able to get enough pressure there on Masoli where he's actually falling back as he tries to throw this football, and that was a tight pocket for him to try to squeeze it in. You see John Simon, a freshman defensive lineman, but with all that being said, he still gets it in there, and that's one that Masoli would love to have.
Jackson Rice, the freshman. Posey standing on the Buckeye 10-yard line. Down at the 19-yard line.
You said it. It's almost like a non-threat without Small back there.
It's been a big difference on several punts. Yep. Terrell Pryor closing in on a Rose Bowl championship.
Hi, is Denise?
Wendy's presents sweet and spicy Asian boneless chicken. Tender, juicy, seasoned all-white meat. Hand tossed in a sweet and spicy Asian sauce. Just one of 3 new choices from Wendy's. Yes, they taste as good as they look.
You know when it's real.
It's tough. It's a truck, and it's a Ford F-150.
I've got a job to do.
And this truck makes it easier.
Tailgate steps.
Box side steps.
I can stow the back seats with one hand.
Look at this. Tool inventory control. It's a mobile office. Why didn't anybody else think of this stuff? It took Ford to figure it out.
Count me in.
I've been waiting a long time for this. Ford's getting it done.
I drive one.
I drive one.
I drive one. The new 2010 F-150. This is Ford today. Drive one.
Fresh, never frozen, juicy beef patty. Make that 2 of them. Made the moment you order it. And the topper? Wendy's new double stack value combo is yours for only $3.99 every day.
You know when it's real.
ESPN's coverage of the Rose Bowl game on ABC, presented by City, proud to present the granddaddy of them all. Taco Bell, think outside the bus. AT&T, a better 3G experience. And Gatorade, it's the heart, hustle, and soul of the game. That's G.
The San Gabriel Mountains bring in the new year here in Pasadena. First down and 10 for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who lead at 19-17. 13:03 remaining, up under center. Herron for a couple of yards.
Brent Terrell Pryor coming into the game the last 3 games, only attempting 17 attempts tonight, 19 of 32. And you can see if you look left to right, he is really spreading it out. Jim Tressel wanted balance, not just with play calling. And he's at 33 passes and 33 runs, by the way, right now, but also left to right, spreading the ball around.
LaMichael James reemerges from the Oregon locker room, and he is suited up. It looks like he'll be ready to go on the next series. Second down and 8. Pryor takes off, breaks the tackle, got the first down. The athleticism of number 2.
Terrell Pryor, Oregon knew that this is one of the things they had to contain and take away from Ohio State. He doesn't always see the field well, especially his middle field reads. He doesn't trust it, and he comes off of it. Eddie Pleasant, a very fast linebacker, is right there. He's got to be able to make that play. Pryor cuts back behind him and is able to pick up the first down. The blitz.
Hands it off to Herron.
Going back to Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator from Oregon, have to be able to stop Terrell Pryor from scrambling and creating. And not that he's hurt him a lot tonight, but just enough on certain downs.
Pryor rolling to the right. Sanzenbacher short of the first down.
The thing that's probably surprised Nick Aliotti and Oregon's defense, maybe more than even you and I and everybody watching this game, is that Terrell Pryor is 20 of 33 pass attempts from an offense that's been very conservative since their loss to Purdue.
Dominating the clock.
Keeping Masoli on the sideline.
Pryor, first down, Sanzenbacher.
It's a great throw by Pryor, but Oregon actually gives him the passing lane. They walk their linebacker up, Casey Matthews, 55, and you can see him there in your picture. When he walked up to show blitz, he didn't get back in time, and it made it very easy for Pryor to find a passing lane to get the ball to Dane Sanzenbacher, who was going up against soft coverage on third down.
Pryor, backside down. And he was hit by Kenny Rowe, who is just an outstanding defensive player. Terrific pickup speed.
Oh, Kenny Rowe, what a night tonight for the Oregon Duck defensive end. Going up against Jim Cordell at the top. Watch again. It's the effort. Number 58, the third time tonight he's been able to catch up to Terrell Pryor, and it's been because of his attitude. He just won't stop. And Brandon Baird gives his best to Terrell, along with Rowe.
Second and 12. Pryor slips and he's down. Comes third down for the Bucks. Lead it by 2. 9.5 minutes. Jake Ballard, been very quiet. There's a tight end here tonight. Is released into a few pass patterns, mainly used as a blocker. Sanzenbacher will go into the slot. Herron is the running back. Pryor slips away, throws it in the air, caught, and there's our man Ballard. Right on cue, Jake Ballard.
Jake Ballard, Brent, you called it 6'6", able to go up and make a play. It looks like Pryor had just thrown it up into coverage. I think the Ducks thought they had a great shot to go up and take this ball away, but the former high school basketball star makes the play.
Now they come back, and Sanzenbacher can't hang on, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 as the Bucks try to pick the tempo up a little bit.
About Ballard going up in the air to make that catch.
Well, Herbert, you put your point out. It was like a basketball player.
Springboro High School, one of the great high school basketball players, his senior year in the state of Ohio, and he looked like that going up.
Didn't he, though?
Bringing down a board.
Second and 10. Heron trying to follow the left side. Cordell and Justin Boren, the transfer from Michigan, on that left side.
This will be interesting for Jim Tressel on 3rd down, because tonight he's gone against his tendencies. He's up by 2. Tressel ball would call for a run here to keep it in the middle of the field and have confidence in your kicker, Petrie, to come out and kick a field goal. This is within his range. But tonight he's kind of gone against the grain. Will he put Pryor in a position to take a chance and throw the football?
Penalty flag. Steps across that marker, but this one could be coming back.
Offside on a defense.
On the defense.
First off.
I think it was the nose guard that time. Brandon Bear, who was just trying to get a jump on the ball. Yeah, I mean, that's a great call. Brewster's able to get the ball up, but we saw this earlier, how physical he can be. This is a safety. He throws him to the Rose Bowl turf and picks up yards for a 1st down.
Hands it off, and Heron pounds to the middle. Now we're seeing a little bit of Tressel balls. He brings down that clock, tries to keep the pressure on the Ducks here, tries to keep it moving on the ground.
That's what he's about. You know, he's always playing the odds in his favor. Plays very, very smart. These kind of games, you touched on it earlier, this is his comfort zone. And it wouldn't bother him at all to kick a field goal here and to put him up by 5 and force the Ducks to eventually have to go down and score a touchdown.
They've kicked 4 field goals and scored 1 touchdown on their first series of the game. He throws, end zone, Posey, touchdown, Ohio State.
Ladies and gentlemen who wanted to move Terrell Pryor to wide receiver after the Purdue game, take note of that throw and of this performance tonight in the biggest game of the year for the Ohio State team.
Petrie.
Previous play is under further review.
It's interesting. Posey was the young man who was in the exact same position earlier in the game, and he ended up dropping a potential touchdown pass. This time, a tougher catch. The ball is perfectly thrown to his backside shoulder, and he makes the catch. It's a matter of checking out to see his feet. He's man-to-man against Anthony Gilden. Does he bobble the ball? It's a touchdown.
Looks like a catch to me.
What a night. We've talked a lot about Pryor. How about the night for Posey? 8 catches and 101 yards.
How about the job that
further
Bill
review,
Bunnell.
receiver maintained possession, touchdown.
How about the job that Bill Bunnell, the producer, and Derek Mobley, the director, and our cameramen have done? The ability to come back with the reverse angle and show all the definitive angles so that the replay folks, there was no doubt in their mind. They saw everything that they wanted to see, and we've had coverage like this all night long from this crew. Congratulations, guys, and Happy New Year.
And more to come January 7th.
Petrie tacks on the extra point. Could this be the Buckeyes' comeback night in a BCS Bowl? We're about to find out.
There's a place where rugged meets refined, and substance meets style, and function meets form, where sport utility meets touring sedan meets you. It's right here in the completely new 2010 Accord Cross Tour from Honda.
This could be the year you meet that perfect someone, the year you talk about for the rest of your life. Announcing the New Year's free communication event from eHarmony.
eHarmony matched Heidi and myself up. My first thought was, wow. I wanted to get that next email. I wanted to get that next communication. It was so exciting.
Just fill out the eHarmony questionnaire, find out who we match you up with, and you can communicate with them for free. The New Year's free communication event this Wednesday through Sunday. Start your year off right. Visit eHarmony today and communicate with your matches absolutely free.
Hi, I'm Steve. A while ago, I had this idea. All the stuff in my house should just work together. Well, Windows 7 comes out, and you know what? Now it does. Now documents from my work PC can print over there, and music from that computer, we can listen to on that computer. The stuff we watch over here, we can watch over here. My little ideas come to life. I know I shouldn't take all the credit, but it's my house. Hey, get off the table. I'm a PC, and Windows 7 was my idea.
Well, the daytime turns to nighttime here in Southern California as we welcome you back to the 96 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Still not much movement outside this Rose Bowl. 26-17. Buckeyes lead it. Varner has been electric. They decide to kick it short to him, and he fields it at the 20, set the reverse, and they pitch it out. And here comes Harris. Harris down the far side. They run the reverse on the short kickoff, and the young corner from Fresno, California, gets it done for the Ducks.
Great call here by Chip Kelly and his special teams coach here. Everybody's expecting Varner, who's had a great night on kickoff returns, to return it. Perfect time to go with the reverse. Barkley ends up knocking out Harris out of bounds, but Cliff Harris showing he's got some speed himself as he got around to the corner there and gives Masoli and the Ducks exactly what they needed. Outstanding field position in an Ohio State territory.
They trail it by 9. LaMichael James back in the game. And he will carry it. Spins away from a would-be tackler. Finally, Brian Roll, who was shaken up earlier, brings the freshman from Texarkana, Texas down. What a year he's had. 1,400 yards and 14 rushing touchdowns. Second down, he's in trouble here. The Bucks were all over that. Doug Worthington in on top of it. We check in with Lisa.
As you said, Brent, LaMichael James back in the game. I'm told by the Oregon training staff the x-rays were negative. They put some extra padding on that left shoulder, and he's giving it a go.
Well, here we go at third down. Masoli. Complete, short of the first down. That was James, the receiver.
Is interesting. This is interesting for Chip Kelly. Normally, he's always about being aggressive and going, but it's a two-possession game. He needs 3 points, and this is very out of character for Chip Kelly to bring the field goal unit out here because he needs points on this possession, and he needs guaranteed points.
You don't want to misfire on this. You've got to take the 3 when you've got a chance,
Exactly. Exactly.
Morgan Flint. Slides it right. No good. And now the Ducks are under the gun. Down 9, 5:10 to go. extra second to set the ball after the snap.
This could be the year you meet that perfect someone, the year you talk about for the rest of your life. Announcing the New Year's free communication event from eHarmony.
eHarmony matched tidying myself up. My first thought was, wow, I wanted to get that next email. I wanted to get that next communication. It was so exciting.
Just fill out the eHarmony questionnaire, find out who we match you up with, and you can communicate with them for free. The New Year's free communication event. There's still time left. Start your year off right. Visit eHarmony today and communicate with your matches absolutely free.
For coaches, the game starts long before the puck drops. They know what their players need during the game and before. And with a range of quick, nourishing ways to feed active families, Chunky Soups support the vital role of nutrition and coaching in our communities. To nominate a coach who makes a difference, go to ChunkyMVC.ca. The Chunky Most Valuable Coach will win $25,000 in prizing for their athletes and community. Campbell's Chunky.
New bourbon Whopper, bourbon sauce, sweet, tangy, observe how to taste the awesome. Remove wraparound shades. Respect the crispy onion rings. Inhale the bacony deliciousness. Take bite. Bonus step. Immortalize. New bourbon Whopper, taste the awesome. Only at Burger King.
As of late, losing a couple of title games to Florida and LSU and struggling against the best of the best. But here tonight, they are 5 minutes away from beating Oregon and winning the Rose Bowl. Jim Tressel's first Rose Bowl as a head coach at Ohio State. Sane is on the field.
Brent, you and I know Coach Tressel very well, and I think we would both agree that this is a different Jim Tressel tonight in the way he approached this game, how aggressive he approached this game on both sides of the football, most notably offensively with what Terrell Pryor has done so far in this game. There's going to be a lot of talk about Terrell Pryor, but it should start with Jim Tressel being willing to turn Pryor loose tonight and have the confidence in him.
Pryor, pitch, Sane after the juggle. Run out of bounds on the Ohio State sideline, short of the first down.
Pryor on this option game, it's an option that just takes a lot of time to develop, and eventually he pitches it out. And if Torian Washington doesn't pick up that block, that play is not only a loss of yardage, potentially a fumble. Great block by Washington. Gives Ohio State here a chance on third down. Ducks are not only trying to get the ball back, but as you can see, under 4 minutes, now the clock's a big factor.
Third down and 2. Option look again. Pryor will keep it for the first down.
Well, Pryor tonight, because he's thrown the football so much, I think people are going to remember that, but I think you have to appreciate a quarterback who's been throwing linebackers and safeties all game long and fighting through arm tackles. And once he breaks free at 6'6", 235, he's got the athletic ability. Here's Javis Lewis, one of the more physical tacklers on the Oregon defense, getting thrown to the turf as well. So Pryor has done a little bit of everything tonight for this Ohio State offense.
From up under center. Now the power running game of the Buckeyes. That was Sane. And now the Ducks are forced to use a timeout. You think about John Hicks, who was inducted into the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame this week, and the great Woody Hayes teams that came here to the Rose Bowl. And of course, this is a reminder that on Thursday night, 8 Eastern, 5 out here along the Pacific Coast, Texas and Alabama, two of the blue bloods, if you will, of college football, both with over 800 wins. Texas with 25 bowl wins, Bama with 31. Will it be hook 'em horns or roll tide come Thursday night? Man,
Two coaches with national championships under their belt as head coaches, Nick Saban at LSU, and of course Mack Brown last time he was here in this stadium knocking off USC with Vince Young.
Down to 3 minutes. And Pryor's going to keep it. Out of bounds on the far side, which I know that Terrell would have preferred to stay in bounds, but the angle on him made it almost mandatory for the quarterback to step out. I know there's someone who's down below, Herbie, who is as overjoyed watching this. Jim Tressel made sure that he came out here with former coach Earl Bruce, and that's Steve Snap. Long time, great SID at Ohio State. Came up to the box. He's been struggling a little bit with his health lately, and I couldn't have been happier to see Steve Snap here. Would not have seemed like a Rose Bowl with the Buckeyes of Ohio State without Steve in attendance. And I know he's counting down the 2:41 now. First down.
A comfort zone for Jim Tressel, like a python, just slowly squeezing.
Stay tough for the last 2:30 now. No one wants it more than Coach Tressel.
For coaches, the game starts long before the puck drops. They know what their players need during the game and before. And with a range of quick, nourishing ways to feed active families, Chunky Soups support the vital role of nutrition and coaching in our communities. To nominate a coach who makes a difference, go to ChunkyMVC.ca. The Chunky Most Valuable Coach will win $25,000 in prizing for their athletes and community. Campbell's Chunky.
Herbie, you see this all the time, right?
You think he's tired of hearing about 3 straight losses in BCS bowl games? It's not over yet.
That game plan crumpled in his hand. First down and 10, and Heron pounds straight ahead. You know, one of the questions that we were asked about before the start of the game, and it's, I think it's really a good one, Herbie, was, is the Buckeye defense? You know, there's all this talk when the Big Ten struggle in bowl games, and specifically Ohio State. They're not fast enough for these flashy teams from the SEC and the Pac-10 and the Big 12. Are they fast enough to stay with the Ducks? They have proved beyond a shadow of doubt. You know, all you have to do is look around the NFL, folks. There are plenty of Buckeye players out there. Santonio Holmes certainly comes to my mind. They can flat move. I mean, that was never the primary issue.
No, but when you show up flat and uninspired in any bowl game, you're going to get exposed in certain areas. And I think the knee-jerk reaction is say, oh, they're not very fast, they can't run. You're right. You go down the list of NFL rosters, maybe USC, maybe Miami of Florida, but Ohio State doesn't take a back seat. So it's not about individual talent. And this will go a long way in helping to show people they can play.
And here's the MVP of the night, Terrell Pryor. He just put the trophy away with that little bootleg for 12 more yards.
And I think it's a sign of things to come in the 2010 season for Ohio State, a team that returns the majority of this football team back. You're going to see Terrell Pryor put in this kind of offense with Jim Tressel trusting him more and being willing to attack both running the football and throwing the football. It's a big night for Pryor and his growth. There's no doubt about that.
Look at what Terrell Pryor has done himself against that fabulous Oregon offense. And this game was not played at the Duck pace right from the beginning. It looked like a lower scoring game than many people thought. We're sitting on, what now, 43 total? And like I said, the last 6 or 7 games, the Ducks have been in the 60s. But tonight, the Ohio State D rules, and a point I want to make before we keep praising the Buckeyes, and they deserve it. 18 Oregon starters are coming back next year, including Masoli.
Absolutely.
So for Oregon Duck fans, I know it's a tremendously unhappy afternoon right now, but I think this team will be the preseason choice to win the Pac-10, and they could well wind up, well, they're certainly going to be in the top 10. Though.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And with Masoli coming back and James, much like Ohio State, most of that nucleus is back.
Watch the vest, baby. Here it comes. Where are those rascals? I know they're lurking back there.
Not over. Not over yet.
He won't let him do it. Oh, no! But he'll look at that clock and say, what's with you guys? There's 40 seconds, but he couldn't resist a big hug with Coleman. And the all Big Ten safety. What a day for the conference. Not just Ohio State. Penn State beats LSU. Northwestern goes to overtime with Auburn. But the Buckeyes rule. Put that gorilla away in the closet. You remember what Chip said before this game? Coach Tressel gets it.
Absolutely.
A touchdown in the first quarter and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. And field goals in between. Time of possession tonight, folks. 41-37 for Ohio State in this game. Let's go down to Coach Tressel with Lisa.
Thanks, Brent. Coach, I just saw you had a nice long word with Chip Kelly. What did you say to him?
Well, you know, I have so much respect for Chip. Worked his way up to the 1AA ranks, and us 1AA guys stick together, and, you know, just enjoyed spending a week with him. I really didn't know him before this week very much. You know, he runs a good program. He has got a good team, and there's no question he's a good one.
All week long, I've been hearing that you were handcuffing Terrell Pryor. He was only able to hand off the ball. If that's true, what were you doing with him tonight?
Well, you were listening to the wrong people then, whoever you were hearing that from. You know, we've done what we thought we should do in various situations, and thought Terrell did a heck of a job tonight.
What did he prove to people tonight, Terrell Pryor?
Well, that we won the Rose Bowl, but now we have to go play the next game. So it's huge, though. You know, to win the Rose Bowl is unbelievable.
So much was said about their up-tempo offense. Wasn't much of a factor tonight. How were you able to slow them down?
Well, we have an up-tempo defense, and they run, and they hit, and they prepare. And it was a good game. Don't take anything away from Oregon. This was a good team. This was number 7 against number 8.
I asked you before the game, what does this win mean for the Big Ten and Ohio State?
Well, it's a big thing. We hadn't won the Rose Bowl for a while, and we'd lost in it because we were playing somewhere else, and this was huge.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations. Brent.
Lisa, the Buckeyes have won their 7th Rose Bowl overall. Jim Tressel once came here as an assistant coach back in the 80s. But now, for the first time as a head coach, he comes away with a victory in the Rose Bowl. Their last win here, Herbie, was the game we've talked about back in '97. They beat Jake Plummer in Arizona State. Joe Germain, the honorary captain for the Buckeyes here tonight. He brought them good luck, my friend.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Just listening to Jim Tressel there and seeing his face, seeing not so much the relief, but how proud he is of his team and his program. They've endured a lot. To the BCS losses, the losses to USC, and I think they've kind of stuck to their guns and shown people across the country that they can play with the best teams in college football, and that was a great performance by not just Terrell Pryor, but Jim Tressel and the way he got this team ready.
Speaking with Terrell, he is with Lisa. Lisa.
Very much, Brent. Terrell, we talked about this earlier. You were hearing all week long about how you were not a complete quarterback. What did you show people tonight?
You know, I just wanted to lead the team as well as I can, you know. And the defense helped out, and they gave us the best situation. And, you know, I just thank God, you know, giving me talents like this and just got to keep going forward.
What was the key to your success?
That boy.
What was the key, not just to you being able to run the ball, but to pass effectively as well?
Our coaches did a great job of game planning against them, and we knew them up and down. We knew everything they were going to do when they were coming with their blitzes and stuff like that. And you know, I just wanted to come out and to show the world that I could be a complete quarterback too.
For a guy like you who's had his ups and downs all season long, you're just a sophomore. What does this win mean to you?
It's just big. Anytime we get a W, it's big, you know. And I just thank God, you know, he just gave me the talents. Like I said again, I'm just very thankful, and I love my teammates, and go Bucks.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, guys.
Terrell was 23 of 37 for 266 yards and a touchdown in the first and the fourth quarter. He did have one interception. Oh, yes, he was also the Bucks' leading rusher with 72 yards. The awards ceremony is coming up when we come back to Pasadena.
Retail price of a new Corolla is lower than